Okay, people, how we doing out there? First things first. Hold on for a minute. First things first, my name is Kenneth Bird. My company is ILEG Technology Screens and SFEG. Some future energy gain coming out in the future, 2026. We build the most amazing projection screen paints on, I like to say, the planet. All right, so this right here, we're going to be doing some medieval builds. We do this with cardboard. We do it from scratch. And we come over here and get myself some. Let me see. Copyright free music. Copyright free music. I looked them over. Some of them, I asked for copyright free, but some of them will give you something that's not copyright free. Something I started giving myself a habit of doing. Anytime I get sodas or anything like that, you have to wipe off the tops because you never know who was touching them. I didn't really think about that at one point, of wiping off the top of cans and bottles and stuff when you get them out of the convenience store, because you never know who had their hands on them. You know. Let me see. We got the caulk there, right? We have the caulk there. So I have to build the caulk system first. And I need my light. I think I'm going to do the shingles. Get the shingles, some of the shingles, not the big roof. Some of the shingles done, and definitely that water wheel has to be completed. So let me get the phone out of the way. Phone over here. Get this over here. I don't know what you're doing there. Why do we have this here? I have to put one over here. Get my lamp put in. Isn't this one bigger than that one? That's bigger than that one, right? Let me see. We've already just got into this music. We already got a commercial popping up already? Child, wow. Gee whiz. I gotta figure out what I did. I did this piece of artwork on this plant behind here. I gotta figure out what I did with the cone to hang it up. Circle cut out. That's why we need to get the magnetic unit so I can swivvel it around. Swivel, swivel, swivel. I gotta pick me up a Lazy Susan. It'll make it so much easier for me to turn the entire structure around. So I'm going to be picking up another Connect unit because I want to see if I can run 2 Connects in here so I can full body track and operate the mouse and keyboard on both screens at the same time. So I just want to do it with my keyboard, like desperately. I'm tired of it. Alright, let's get into our medieval world. A nice perfect circle right there. Big enough? Oh, we're going to need something bigger. Oh yeah, that's definitely not going to be big enough. That thing has to hit me. It's actually much bigger than that. Way bigger than that. So we'll start this one first. The middle base. Oh yeah, because we have to put the paddles in. So the middle base will be here, and then the paddles are going to stick out a little farther out. So actually this will be perfect. Can I get another one out of here? Can I cut right to get another one out of here? I did get another one out of there. Plenty of this. Have to bend the cardboard to make it more flexible. Tomorrow is PC repair day, so I have to go in and I have to pull out my liquid cooling systems and clean them all down, get them all vacuumed out. Fan has to be vacuumed out. Air cleaner in the corner has to be cleaned out. Get them all ready. Clean out day. Turn it the opposite way. So that's what we gotta do. I'm putting your fish up. You know why I'm putting your fish up? Because you did too much with it, that's why. Put it over there. Keep your butt out of trouble. Watch some cartoons. Oh, I got him water, didn't I? I did get him fresh water. There we go. I can't even drink spring water. Now, once we get the screens are done, so that's finished. The 235.10. We got one projector we need to get. We're going to start on the floor, get the koi fish done for the floor. And then after that, we start working on the desk. The rest is pretty easy. Get a panel system. I'm going to take all these up because these are done. I've marked these up pretty bad. I'm going to pull all these up. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to basically put the new ones down, put the artwork down over top of that, and then we're going to laminate them. And then we're going to put in a trace system. And the trace system stops off at each separation. And the reason why I stopped at each separation, because if I don't want to use the connection for the desk to bring the desk to life, I can always take it off the desk, stick it onto the wall, and use it as wall art. So that's why we're designing it that way. And then we're going to do some decorations for our desk, like a levitating cube and some really cool cyberpunk plants. This is why we do the whole every how far these things are going to be needed. Can't move that away. We're bending it. Let's see if this way. There we go. It's better. Move my fan up. And we're going to turn it off, that going on. From here. Here. We're going to ruin this? No, we do not. Can you find it even remotely cozy? Taco. 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 There you go. Taco. There you go. I fixed it for you. Much better. Excuse me. Come here. Need a box? Huh? There you go. Put your box over there. Got your cartoons running. Makes your bed a lot more comfortable than what it's supposed to be. Kind of fluff up his bed a little bit. So he's comfortable. For this one. There we go. First part of our windmill. Watermill, sorry about that. Go all the way around. Want the cardboard, don't you? So this cardboard is calling me. Oh boy, the cardboard. Am I using it? I will become one with the cardboard. Yeah, go ahead, next cup, you man. I want to become one with the cardboard. Amazon, you have served me well. Sorry, behind my desk was looking like a hot mess. Can't be looking at that and look down. Can I? No, we cannot. We cannot. He wants me to fight with him. Fight with him. I put a new extension on your box with some cardboard. He probably wants a new extension on his box, some cardboard. We'll do that for him. Add some upgrades to his box. I get some soft brushes and then cut the handles off of them, sand them down so there's no rough spots area, and I glue them onto his box so he can rub his face all over them. That's usually what he does. Rubs his face all over everything. Godzilla. Okay. Oh, come on, let's be nice. Invented the wheel. Oh yeah. What's up, Trouble Man? Row! Where you going, Frankie boy? Frankie boy? Frankie boy disappeared. I didn't want to watch this cartoon. He went back to it. I'm probably bored. Okay. Let me see. I'm going to do it that way. Alright, so the lace flat here, but the top part, the ridges are definitely out. Okay, cool. Alright. Which one of these were you cutting? Did we take it with us? Copyright free medieval music, no commercials. Oh, that's definitely chocolate commercials in there. Oh, what are you? Why are you copyright free? Copyright free medieval music. Should ride fast. Oh yeah, it definitely ride fast. Praying for one of my family members, for them to learn patience. You know, screaming and yelling does not help. It doesn't. It energizes the devil. That's what it does. It excites him. And when people get to a point you're a Christian, you're not supposed to be, you're going to have some things that are going to, are going to do that to you. But you have to learn to have control. How much trust you have in God? God's going to work everything out. It may seem like all the odds are against you, but he's going to work everything out. And to scream and yell about it, it makes the devil happy. It does. It makes him happy to see a Christian screaming and yelling. It makes him happy, and you don't want to give Satan any glory whatsoever. Because if it's God's plan, at the end of the day, it is going to be what it's going to be. I had to learn that. That was a long path that I traveled, and I had to learn that. And it took a lot. It's a very hard thing to do. People say that you have faith, but you got to have that 100% faith. That's why you go through those trials and tribulations, because that teaches you to have faith in God. Put more of your faith in God and less worrying about the things going on around you. Once you get to a point where you don't worry about those things like that anymore, it's so much easier. Life is so much easier when you surrender everything to God and you let Him handle it. It gets so much easier. But screaming and yelling about it, stressing about it, all that, not going to help you one bit. So it's going to make the situation far worse. Now, I had several things happen to me today that could have easily disrupted and made my life extremely miserable. You know, projector got here, but actually we got the projector, but the projector was late. The packages went in a different direction, another post office, and there was some other problems that popped up. And I could have sat there and just screamed about it all day, but nope, I put it in God's hands. I've watched Him work. I've watched Him fix things and do the impossible. So why in the world am I going to sit there and start doubting Him? So, you know, I just give it to Him and go about my merry way. That's what I started to do. So I don't have that stress anymore. So what happened? Everything came together. We got the screens here, projector sitting over there. Everything is done. It's going to happen. If it's God's will, it's going to happen. It's going to work its way out. That's what it's going to do. He wants what's best for His Christians at the end of the day. That's what He wants. What's best for them. And He's going to make sure that everything works out. And He wants you to have faith in Him 100% that it's going to work out. So all He wants you to do is have faith in Him. And sometimes people think, well, I'm a Christian. Why has it got to be this hard? It has to be that hard. You have to go to that Christian boot camp. You have to understand your enemy at the end of the day, the devil, Satan, Lucifer, whatever you want to call him at the end of the day, is basically out to get you. As a Christian man or Christian woman, he's out to get you. And as those of you that are not saved, he's definitely out to get you. So you got to have that faith. God's got your back, because He will. He's not going to let you down in any way whatsoever. He has your back. And if something doesn't work out, like something don't work out for me, so it's a contract or something, and it doesn't work out, I don't get mad about it, upset about it. You know what it is? I sit there and praise God. Thank you for watching over me. Because it could be something in that contract or doing business with these people that could be something really bad. It could not benefit my company. It could cause me problems. So if the Lord says not to be, not to be. Move on. So the Lord will guide you and show you the way. I have less stress in my life. I don't have to worry about the things of this world, because technically they don't apply to me, but I still go in and vote. I had went to vote for that, went on, and I prayed about it. But the things of this world are of this world and not of me. Now, I would never sit back and say, well, because these things are not of my world and my place is with God, I'm not going to try to help people out. No, you're supposed to help people out. There's this huge piece of glue on the side of my... I was listening to scriptures over at my sister's place, and it talks about how when you talk about the Lord, and I didn't really know about that. You know, I mean, I don't really think about that kind of stuff. But when you talk about the Lord, you know about the Lord toward people, that Jesus talks about you in heaven to God. Now, I talk about God because I don't talk about God because I want Jesus to talk about me to God in heaven. I talk about God because there are people who need to be saved. That's why I talk about it. People need to be saved. That's why I talk about it. But yeah, Jesus talks about you to God in heaven. Jesus talks to you to God in heaven. Some people may talk about God to get that glory. I talk about God because, you know what I mean? I want people to have better lives. Better life. And what I try to explain to the person who complains all the time that you are losing that glory. You're losing that glory. You are. God gives you the ability to see his hand at work. Sit back, be quiet, and watch. Don't worry about tomorrow. Don't worry about the next day. Sit back and watch. And you get a chance to see the Lord at work. But if you complain and you fuss and you complain, you'll miss it. You'll be too busy complaining. You'll miss it. Watch it. Watch it all come together. Just like that. Right in front of you. And you'll see how amazing God is. Don't give the devil any gratitude at all whatsoever. The devil will go up there in heaven and he'll talk your case right up to God. But look at him down there, screaming and yelling and carrying on and acting up. Look at him. He's supposed to have faith in you. You got to be, that's what I said. You have to put your trust in God. The devil will cause you to get upset and carry on and act up. Don't give him that satisfaction at all, period, in any way whatsoever. Yep, don't give him that satisfaction. So, and then the most dangerous part, and it's very dangerous, I feel it's dangerous to me, I say it's dangerous, is when you're a Christian and you think you know everything. That's very dangerous. Very dangerous. Because I'll come to that person and I'll say, look, you have to calm down. You have to give faith to God. Oh, I got faith in God. I have faith in God. I'm not worried about that. I have faith in him. Dangerous. Very dangerous. If you had faith in him, you wouldn't be complaining at all, period. You'd be praising. You'd be praising the Lord. Thank you for the opportunity for allowing me to see your hand at work. You'd be praising instead of being upset. You know, people may sit there and say, well, these people came out and openly attacked you and did all these things to you. Yeah, they did. They did attack me and did all these things to me. But nothing happened to us. Not a thing. We didn't lose any business. Everything's going well. The company's doing quite well. So we didn't lose anything at all, period. You know, Lord blesses our hands. We have all new technology. Now I got a new business, a couple of businesses. I'm about to start off pretty soon. I'm happy, you know. Lord takes care of me. Ooh, I got some Twinkies. I'm dying for some Twinkies. But anyway, Lord takes care of us. So we don't worry about that kind of stuff at the end of the day. But through that whole situation, the Lord taught me something about myself. Because like I said, one of the things that I feared that if that part ever came back to me, and then with the technology we're going to have at the end of the day, the money this stuff is going to generate, yeah. If I were to get upset and get angry, if someone were to cause me to go back to that person, I know mercenaries. I know people. I know some very interesting people that live on this planet. And I could hire them to do my bidding at the end of the day. I had the lawyers, I had the money, I had the power to get out of any situation I'm in. The only person I can't basically get away from is God. So everything happens for a reason. It was meant for those people to come into my life. It was meant for all this to happen to us. All this was meant to happen. Because the Lord knew that the great blessing he had for us, and what we were going to be able to do with that blessing, the devil could easily come in and twist it around and use it for me to lose my salvation. Now, from what I went through with these people at the end of the day, I learned a lot about myself. I learned that the person a long time ago who almost took my life away from me, which means almost set me up to go to jail for a very long time, doesn't exist anymore. That person is truly dead. Because like I said, if this was way back when at that particular point, even at age 16, I was very violent at 16 years old. I was a very violent individual. Even though I can't get an airline ticket, I would have paid. I was doing some business. Just put it that way, pharmaceutical business. So I had money at 16, a lot of money, and I could have easily paid any one of those thugs whatever I need to get wherever I need to go to get where I got to get what got to be done. Or I can make a call in your state, and with the contact with some friends and stuff, and get it done. And I was connected. If I was that person. No fear of death, because I was suicidal. And the devil was constantly in my head all the time. Always in my head. I had dreams about the devil. One of the dreams I had was that march up the top of a hill. There was a bunch of people behind me. We're all marching. There's music. And the devil was leading it. Yeah. Fire and brimstone. I saw it in my sleep. And every day I get up, it would fill me with more hatred and more hatred. And I fed off hatred. Very dangerous. Extremely dangerous. But now, that person's dead. And that's one of the things that I thought for a long time. Like, what if somebody gets me angry or somebody gets me upset? And I bring somebody up from my past. What if that person pops up again? Is he truly dead for good? And he is dead. Because again, where I lived at the end of the day, if you even looked at me the wrong way, you were done. The devil made me that arrogant. Literally that freaking arrogant. That if you looked in my path too long, yeah, I was going to take you out. If you looked at me and walked away, then there was a 100% chance that I was going to track down where you lived at and got you right there. And the way my brain was functioning, the way the devil had me so twisted up in hatred and evil, it wouldn't have made a difference if you were outside in front of your kids. I would have taken you out. No matter any means necessary to make my mark. If you're out there with your family, so be it. If you're at a funeral, so be it. At the hospital, it'll make a difference. Anywhere, I'll come get you. If you put a threat on my life and say you're going to kill me, it meant nothing to me. I was suicidal. I wanted to die anyway. So I had no fear of death because I wanted death. For any means necessary, I was going to get you. And this process got worse and worse day by day. Got worse, and the devil was pushing more, put more. It got really bad. So the Lord had to break it. And that's why I got locked up. He saved my life. So me getting locked up was the best thing ever happened to me. I found Jesus Christ. I recognized the devil for what he was and what he was doing to me. That's why he spoke to me in that jail cell. He already knew the path I was about to take. He didn't want it. He was going to kill me. He wanted me dead. I saw everything crystal clear. His master plan and what he wanted to do. And then the sad thing about it is, when you watch down, when you become a Christian and you become saved and that life is no longer your life anymore, you watch others follow the same path. And you know if they don't get it together, he's going to get what he wants. He's going to take their life. You've already entertained it. Not he or she, it. You have entertained it. You need to be afraid. I mean, very afraid. You have no idea what you have basically entertained. And people think, well, you're just, no, it's not, you'd be more than scared. Well, I'm telling you, you need to be more than scared. It's very real. And Satan's very real. You entertained it. Once you entertain it, and it knows that it can basically get its hands on you, it's not going to stop. And the only way you can stop it is to pick up that cross and follow Jesus. He can't touch you then. You just get upset and get angry and walk away because he lost you. So for the people who had openly attacked me, you have a bigger problem than court. You have a bigger problem than lawsuits. You have Lucifer, the devil, fallen angel, whatever you want to call what he is. You have now basically entertained him. You listen to him. When he told you to do those things, you listen to him. And that's what he needed you to do. Now, he already knows you can't touch me. He knows that from the door. But he knows that he can touch you. But if you can find God, quick. Mind you, you're not promised tomorrow. So you can die tomorrow. You can die the next day. And if you have not picked up your cross, then he's going to claim what belongs to him. One of the things I feared the most when I was in lockup was dying. Not dying by somebody else's hand, just dying, period. Just maybe my time came. It was time for me to come home. And I wasn't even ready to come home. I was scared to death. Now, I believed that Jesus Christ was my Lord and Savior 100%. I did. I believed it. I believed in him 100%. And I was willing to walk away from all the things of that world that I was connected to. But I was not baptized. Excuse me. I needed these sins to be off me. And the only way I was going to do that is to be baptized. And the only way I can do it is to be out of that place. And the Lord made it so. So when my time came, I was released. I went home. And my first Sunday, I got saved. I got baptized. That was such a weight off my shoulders. And then comes the thirst for hunger, for knowledge, because you want to know more about God. You want to know this person who saved my life at the end of the day. Why? You're still trying to figure that one out. Why did he save my life at the end of the day? I was a ruthless individual, didn't care for Christians, didn't care for anybody. Would have killed anybody if I had the opportunity. If I was given the opportunity, and this is how, the mindset I was. If I was given the opportunity that I can kill as many people as I wanted to kill without ever being stopped, I would have done it in a hot second. That's how badly I was embedded with Satan. Very, very dangerous game to play. That's why I tell people at the end of the day that when you get upset and you get angry, give it to Jesus, because if you don't, he's going to try to get in. You're playing a very dangerous game. Now, am I this person? Oh, no, that person died. He's dead. And the reason why I know he's dead, because what I went through with these two individuals attacking me and my friends and family, I didn't react in that way. I did it the right way it was supposed to be done. I contacted local law enforcement officers. I went down and got attorneys, filed lawsuits. I did it the right way. And what makes me happy about that, knowing that that person that was inside of me is dead forever, and I'll never see him again. Ever. He is gone for good. That's what the beautiful thing about you guys at the end of the day don't understand, that when you attacked me, you became a blessing, because the Lord allowed me to see that that person is gone for good. You didn't harm me, you didn't take anything from me whatsoever, and you also allowed me to be able to see to myself that I'm not that person anymore. That person's gone. See? God uses everything for the glory of good. But in the process of all that, you allow the devil to get in. And he's going to keep coming at you. He's going to keep talking to you. You're going to have to repent and find God. Look at that. I like that. See how the whole time we're putting it together, I get to talk to... See, the beautiful people say God don't talk to them. God talks to me every day. Every day. We're having a conversation right now. I'm talking to the Lord. As we putting this together, He's telling me how to put it all together. You're going to put that piece there. You're going to put that piece there. You're going to assemble that piece over there. Yep. My Lord is speaking to me. We're having a nice conversation. Finding God, getting my life back is the best thing ever happened to me in my entire life. Nothing can ever replace my relationship I have with Jesus. Nothing. Best thing ever happened to me in my entire life is finding God. And I'm never going to go back, ever, 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 ever. Nope. And now I can see the danger I was in. I can see it. And the sad thing about it is, For those at the end of the day who follow him, you're in danger. Let me see. A little smoke system. I'm not going to see it much on that side, but still, I need to be able to do it. Let me see. Excuse me. It'd been better if you put like a, what come across there? That would have been better there. I have to take that out. Because we need a piece to come across to connect in here, in the little circle area we got here, to make it look like it's connected to that with a caulk system. To make that look more realistic. We're saying, no, that's not going to work. You're going to have to take that one down. Let's put this in here instead. Okay. See, you get to work with the master craftsman. Get to work with God. Alright, so I'm going to put that right there in the middle like so. But that should be a good size for the caulk from here. Because it's got to be very wide from there. So that'd be nice. So let me get another one for this side. I don't tell you stuff to scare. Well, yeah, it's a way to scare you and watch out and be safe and all, but gotta find God. Got to. Gotta find him. Gotta seek and find Jesus. Not only that, Jesus died on the cross for us. He did something that, none of us could do that. None of us could sit there and let people beat us and spit on us and do the stuff that they did to that poor man and do it all for people. At the end of the day, knowing that there are people that are not going to accept you. And despite all the stuff I did at the end of the day, my Lord still saved my life. He didn't have to. He didn't have to let me walk out of that prison. See? Could have kept me in there. But he let me walk. Everything I have is because of him. And even when I build my Mary bills here, I talk about Jesus and think about our little elves that are now building this unit. They're over here working on this. It's giving me all types of stories and stuff to tell about these little bills we're putting together. Even when I'm eating something, excuse me, the Lord will say, stop eating that. Alright, that's the end of it. No more. Don't eat no more of that. And I stop right away. Because I had to learn the hard way a few times. Where he told me stop eating something, and I'll keep eating it, and I get sick, of acid reflux will pop up or whatever, and I'll have a problem breathing a little bit. See, I learned to listen next time. I was sitting there thinking, Lord, I should listen to me. You told me the first time not to stop eating it. Yeah, he tells you that's enough. That's enough. Don't eat anymore. It's a beautiful thing when the Lord speaks to you and tells you. Let me stand up for this one. Beautiful thing when the Lord tells you, talks to you, and guides you. Now, some people don't want to hear all this. They don't want to hear anything about God. But, when the world is chaotic and things aren't going your way, now we talk to him. Now we want to speak to him. Now we want us to communicate with him. Other time than that, we don't want to speak to him. We don't want to talk to him. When everything's going well, people forget God. When things are going bad, they remember God. The Lord just told me to drink water. So where is that water for top? Well, he didn't drink it all. I'll take some of this water. So when I do the mushroom home, for the little mice and squirrels, I'm gonna do squirrels, mice, I'm gonna do a possum. I saw a bunch of little ones they had ones with glasses and stuff, little jackets on and stuff. So when we do them, I think I'm gonna put in a pot-belly stove in there, a pot-belly stove, and a fireplace in there would be pretty cool. So we'll have the fireplace coming outside the mushroom, inside, because I want when you pull it off, you can see actually inside what's going on in there. Somebody put a post like that on Facebook. They said what we all believe when we're kids, when you see a tree, that they're actually inside the tree living. Oh, that's going to look really nice. That's going to look really, really nice. See that? Oh, that guidance from God tells you exactly how to do it. All right, so I see what he means by, if I basically put it this way, the spokes are going to be blocked by this. So we need a piece coming out here that connects to here that won't touch the spokes. So I kind of understand what he's telling me to do. Got that part. Put that in there. And wants the spokes this way. Okay. Come in there, measure this off. Right? There we go. Yeah, I was supposed to go pick up a Sharpie a long time ago. I ain't got around to it yet, but I'll remember it tomorrow. Let me see what we got here for our spokes. A little bit off. Let's see. Go. That's pretty cool. I could imagine if he had the ability to go deep in the ocean and I saw one of those telescopic fish, the first time I say, Lord, why would you make this? You know, God makes what he wants to make, but I just find it interesting. That thing is creepy looking. Man, I thought somebody was using some kind of AI and he made it up. It's an actual real fish. I don't know what it's called, a fish, something. But man, that thing is crazy looking. Like I said, thank goodness it's deep down in the ocean. Thank you, Lord, on that one. Man, if I was down there scuba diving, we had the machines down there. I don't know, I guess we would have, maybe one day we'll have equipment that will allow us to go that far down. Can you imagine bumping into something like that? I'm like, whoa. Say, Lord, I know you got an amazing imagination and you made this and designed this, but what is the purpose of this thing? Probably serves some purpose down there. Something interesting purpose. But is it interesting? The rope that made that. Got our first spoke in there and our wheel. There's a big, crazy looking fish. Still fun to think about if we ever get the ability to live under the ocean. That would be interesting though. I know this. I go to a forum site where people think about it and they talk about it, like how can it be done and what would be needed to do it. You know, it's all different kinds of interesting ideas on being able to live under the ocean. Mind you, it's a whole world we haven't even explored yet. I mean, we're worrying about outer space right now, and we got the entire ocean right there, right there. And We haven't figured out how to put a city down there yet. I mean, how long have we been around the ocean? Like centuries and centuries and centuries and centuries, decades. We haven't figured out how to put a city down there yet. And we're worrying about outer space. I mean, outer space is all good and well enough, but we have an entire ocean right there. Don't get into a rocket ship and travel and all that. Don't get me wrong, I like space flight. I'm a big fan of space flight and all that stuff. Big fan of it. But still, you have the entire ocean right there. We only have 15% completed. We've got to be thinking of ways to get down to the, maybe at least another 40% would be nice. Probably won't get that 40%. Maybe 10% would be nice. And you really can't bring anything topside. Like say you find something down there huge and jacked up, you know. You really can't bring it topside because it's not going to come up. There's no survival for it up here. And on top of that, which I think was quite amazing, how the Lord made the ocean pressurized, that certain animals can't live in that habitat. They come out of the ocean where it's less pressure, they die. So the Lord made them, gave them limitations on where they can go and where they can't go. That's why you don't see massive, giant, colossal squids attacking boats and all that stuff. They stay where they're supposed to stay. God gives them command. God tells them where they stay and where they have to stay. They already know from the door that their survival rate is much greater. The chance of them to be a mate and reproduce is much greater where they're at. That's why you don't see lions in the Antarctic. They stay where they're able to survive. Now, insects, on the other hand, that's a whole other type of species right there. That's why they have a thing about how you can't bring animals over from the other countries because it can disrupt the ecosystem. That's why. Other animals have been able to become hybrids and live in there, but other animals can't live out their habitat. That's why when you go to the zoo, you will notice that when they design the habitat, they design it for the habitat of the animal that lives in that environment. They don't have tigers sitting up there with the polar bears and polar bears sitting up there with the tigers. The survival rate would be horrible. So, yeah. I do believe that God gave everything a place to be at and where it needs to be at. Like for man. Are we supposed to visit other planets? No, I believe we're not supposed to. Earth was designed for us, the way it's designed. If you look at Earth, the way it's designed for us to survive, to live. The sun's not too far away where we freeze to death. The moon's not out of its gravitational pull where we can be destroyed by natural disasters here on the planet, because if the moon were to move a little bit to the left or right, we're done. So, everything was made on this planet for us to survive. Plenty of rich minerals to be able to build things that we have today. And it's been able to use the earth to be able to build all types of stuff. Cardboard, scissors, all this stuff comes from minerals from the earth. Let me see where you're going to go at. I'll put you right there. Or should I put you here? Let's see. No, put this way instead. He did give us the ability to have a space station. He did give us that knowledge to do it. But I think being able to visit the planets, we're not going to be able to do it because they're not designed for us to live on in any way whatsoever. Like SpaceX wants to go to Mars. Question, when you get there, what are you going to be able to do? Because your survival rate is going to be next to nothing on Mars. It's not designed for us to live there. And then we have topics like, are there anybody else out there besides us? No, it's just us. Like Like I said, in theory, something would have came by now. We would have saw something. Let me get into the other half on there that thinks that the pyramids were built by aliens. So let me get this straight. Supreme being that has the ability to travel anywhere it wants, probably possibly time travel, right? Technology way beyond what we could ever believe, came down here to build sand blocks. Now, if they left an iPhone behind in that particular era, like something like an iPhone, or I don't know, anything, like a TV, something like that, in that particular time zone, then yeah, I would believe, yeah, there was definitely alien life form. But it built blocks. Why didn't it leave anything behind? Any form of titanium, steel, or some kind of alloyed metal, anything. Everything on that ship would have been from the future. So why didn't it leave anything behind? No trinkets, nothing. It just came down there and they built blocks. Those blocks were built by the slaves. That's what they were built by. And even the ships themselves, they claimed that came here, when they found out later on the crop circles and all that stuff was basically a hoax. Remember that era? People thought those old crop circles were some ships landing, and they were burning those symbols into the crops. And they found out somebody with a tractor and really skills put those crop circles in there. And then on top of that, the people saw it. If they saw something like that, why didn't they draw about it? How come there's no scrolls? There's nothing there. Them drawing into anything, showing something that came in and landed. And it's something that came in and landed. Why would it wait so long to come back? I mean, it's been here already before. I'm pretty sure if they're explorers and they charted Earth, I'm pretty sure we're all over the map at the end of the day. Something would have came back by now. There isn't anybody. It's just us. And some people find it hard to believe. I see them in the sites and all. They find it hard to believe and to accept that part. But it's true. We are the only ones. Now, if you're a Christian, you would understand it much better. Because that means whatever's out there would know God. And whatever's out there would also know the devil. So, if that's the case, if an alien form came down here, he would have knowledge of God. He would also have knowledge of the devil. Because God, at the end of the day, is the existence for all things. All things. Including alien life form. Because God was here before anything else was here. Where anything existed in this world, God was here. Beginning and the end. The Alpha and Omega. That's what he is. So, they would know who he is. Every animal on this earth knows God. Every animal. Every single animal knows God. It says in the Bible about the tongue, how the bird's tongue is tamed. The animals of the air, the animals of the sea, the animals of the land, their tongues are tamed. We're the only ones that don't have a tamed tongue. This is a danger to us. You know why? Because the tongue can bless and curse. The tongue can cause wars. The tongue can cause death. The tongue can even cause you to be condemned. Our tongues are not tamed. But animals have tamed tongues. Isn't that incredible? God explains that in the Bible. That's why we have our family radio, fellow Bible ship on our websites. So people come in and maybe you want to check it out. They got fantastic scriptures that talks about the Lord. Hopefully we get some people in there to listen to that and find out more about the Lord. Once you start finding out more about the Lord and you want to know more about Him, this is where you start to seek and find. And the Lord will let Him be known. You'll be not hard to find Him. Not hard to find Him. He talks to you every day. Every day talks to you. Imagine somebody tells you that they can make your life better. They can bring you happiness. They can keep you safe. Why would you turn that down? Putting our spokes together. Here we go. Mom used to tell me all the time, God wants to take care of you. And I say, I take care of myself. And I did a fine job of that one, didn't I? You know, if the people don't want me to talk about Him, I can't stop. How can I deny Him? Look at that. Every time I look around here, I just see God. Everything I have here all comes from Him. How do I drop my cross and deny Him? Look at all He's given to me, and I'm gonna drop my cross and deny Him. Every day He gives me something new to design or build or put together. He talks to me and gives me directions on how to do things, how to speak. Some days, you know, I have to talk to people every day, and I have to learn how to speak properly and what to say and how to say it, how to write things and how to do it. Gives me all that guidance. Even shows me how to eat better, which I don't listen for that one for Jack. We gotta start listening to that one more often, because I tell you, that acid reflux ain't no joke. That is no joke. That stuff is brutal. The young people, young people get acid reflux. You can get at an early age. You can get at an early age. But man, that's the worst of the worst. Man. Whew. I feel like you're dying. That's what it really feels like. It literally feels like you're dying, having a heart attack. Worst thing ever. Your jaw tightens up. Actually, it does feel like a heart attack. Your jaw tightens up and all that stuff. Yeah, it's bad, man. It's bad. You know, the Lord told me, don't eat this. Stop eating that. Don't eat that. Stop eating that. You know, you're not supposed to have that at 3 o'clock in the morning. You know what that's going to do to you at the end of the day. Stop eating that at the end of the day. You need to start eating more fruit. You need to start eating more vegetables. Not be in the hospital because something to trigger off. And like the Lord will be like, I told you, got to eat more fruit and vegetables. I told you not to eat that at the beginning. I said, yeah, I know, Lord. I'm sorry. I won't do it again. I got to start eating better. So I think this is the last for my stuff at the end of the day. I'm going to go to the supermarket tomorrow and pick me up some grapes. I'm going on a detox. I like to go on these detoxes where basically that's where I eat nothing but grapes. Grape fasting. Eat nothing but grapes and just fast. Grapes is a fantastic way to detox the system. Get rid of all those unnecessary things you have in there. And that's what I'm going to start doing. Going back into my grape fasting. How far is this thing going to stick out when I put this in there? That's going to be pretty interesting. We got to cut that down a little bit. Definitely got to cut it down a little bit. Wait a minute, we could keep the box there, can't we? Because this pushes the pegs out a little bit. Oh yeah, we could. We're going to put the keg there, Lord? It would look better if we put the keg system there. That would look much better, to tell you the truth. But the whole grinding system, except for that box being there on top of that, it really would look better. Now, I feel sorry for Fernando, and I'll tell you why. Not because the other things he's about to go through. But he has a habit of saying, being blessed. Dude, you really got to stop saying that. You're stacking coals on your head, man. God does not reward the wicked. He doesn't. You're not blessed. You're not blessed in any way whatsoever. God can't bless you either way because of the person that you do, the things that you do. You attack Christians at the end of the day, a lot of them too. At that, you got to answer for that stuff at the end of the day. So you're not blessed in any way whatsoever. Stealing and doing the things you do, it's not blessed. You are cursed. The things that you receive are of Satan. That's what you have received. Those things are from the devil. That's what you have received. When you have a blessing from God, you can go anywhere with it. Any courtroom, any place with it. You can testify to his name, and he will back it up 100%. Like I sat there in the middle of that floor, and I sat there and said that if I am all these things, may the Lord take it from me. What did the Lord do? Upgraded all our technology to the roof. I'm like 10 years ahead of my tech now. I've never had a technology that allowed me to operate 50 lumens outside of direct sunlight. It still blows my mind when you were able to do that. We are light hits away from above everybody else because of God. And the Lord blesses. That's what he does. He can't bless him because the things he's doing is not of God. And you got to have it putting blessings down there. Now, if you're putting blessings down there to try to make me upset, I wouldn't make me upset at all, period. That makes God angry at the end of the day. Because God is not responsible for blessing the wicked. He doesn't bless the wicked. He doesn't. That'll get you in trouble. Taking the Lord's word and putting it under something that you know that the devil gave it to you. You're not blessed. The money that you received to buy those items came from stealing from other people. That's where that money came from. Making that money, counterfeiting, and ripping off other companies to make money. That's not blessed. It's in the Bible. 8th commandment, thou shalt not steal. It's right there. God put it there for a reason. And you have taken something from the 8th commandment that God put in, thou shalt not steal, and put blessings underneath of it. So if you feel that you're doing that to disrupt, we're not bothered by that. I feel sorry for you that the one that's basically you're going to have to answer to is going to be God, because he does not bless the wicked. That's when the problem you have when you have these preachers who go in there, same thing, and they talk about how they're walking with the Lord and this, like Mr. Williams, walking with the Lord and this, that, and the other, and they're sending half-naked pictures of themselves. They're cheating and sleeping with people in the church. They're robbing and stealing from people. Oh, I'm blessed. God blesses me. I'm blessed. Dangerous. Extremely dangerous. Now, mind you, let's talk about God here. The one that has the ability to create the heavens and the earth, everything before you, the Almighty, the one that basically makes the choice whether or not you breathe today and you may not breathe tomorrow, who has that much power at the end of the day. Would you ever go up to him and put words in his mouth? No, that'd be suicidal. That's madness. But yet you do. You're not blessed. You're not at all. That's like me going out and committing all those crimes that are unblessed by God. When you make those statements, God does not like it when you put his name in. You mix him into something that he knows is of sin. There is no evil in God at all, period. It even says in the Bible that any sheep that will be going to the kingdom of heaven will go without blemish, which means you will have no sin connected to you. You cannot enter into the kingdom of heaven with sin. It's impossible. So if God is that strict on purity, why in the world would he bless someone that is using Satan to make a profit and allow him to call it blessed? It's not blessed. Not blessed at all. Blessings you don't have to hide. Like right now, you can't walk into a Baltimore Police Department. And right now, what we showed over to the FBI, we showed to the FBI about a few days ago, he's going to jail. Because right there, they'll tell you from the door, that's a crime. You go to jail for that. Now, if he were to say, oh, his product here that he has is a thief, he's ripping off people, he's a scam artist, we got no problem with that. We got a contract. How about we just sign the contract? Let's go to court. But they won't sign. You know why they can't sign? Because they know darn well at the end of the day that our product works. And they know they'll lose everything in the courtroom. That's why no one signs the contracts. No one has attorneys contact us. They know it from the door. When we go to buy your products at the end of the day, we get money back. We get money back. We get pages get shut down. All kinds of stuff. Because you know what? Your stuff is fake. It's not real. It's not blessed. You made those products with the intention to rip off and steal from people, and to lie and to manipulate. That's why you can't back it up. So for us, we can back up anything we have today. I would dare any one of you to take me to court. Please do. See, I can do that. I can say that. You can't say that because you know it will hit you. We'll have a lawyers down your back in no time at all. You can't back yourself up. So if you can't back yourself up, that means your stuff didn't come from God. Your stuff is not honest. It's not legit. It's not by the book. A person who has a product that's legit and by the book can back it up any day of the week. Anywhere in the world, you can back it up. You can't. And he sat there and talked about a product, again, a screen paint that was supposed to be different. And it wasn't. It was basic house paint. We literally saw it in the video, the Frankenstein video. It was right there sitting on next to the laptop. It was a black and white paint. That's what they used for making black and white paint. Everybody knows that mixture at the end of the day. 2 quarts, 1 quart of black paint, and the large gallon is the base, which is considered, that's where you get your money from. The other one's just a toner. That's it. You make no money from the toner. Toner just adjusts the color to the paint, the darkness of it. Whether it's going to be lighter or darker. So that's all it is. But the one you're going to make the money of it, it's a bigger container. So everybody knows that at the end of the day. Every single person knows that. So we saw the ingredients right there. Bear paint right there. And it's sitting there saying that it's paint does something special and different. It didn't do anything different. It's regular house paint. Ripped off a bunch of people. At the end of the day, robbed them. So when you follow the devil, you show patterns. You show patterns over and over again and again and again. Patterns he's showing, he steals. Frankenstein, that's not your name. You don't own the rights to it. But he used it to try to make money off a company's name without paying royalties. First act of stealing. Then, here comes the screen paint. They were nothing more than just black and white paint. Use high-powered projectors, dark environments to manipulate the environment, and lie on camera, and say his product was something special. It wasn't. God, whatever's in the dark, remember how it goes? Whatever's in the dark comes out in the light. So anything you try to put in God's name, God will separate himself from it. Like, no, that got nothing to do with me. No. I'm going to put you out there so people can see what you are. So all that time, we sat here and we talked about the Lord this and the Lord that, and Jesus this and Jesus that. And we sat there and said on camera, in front of everybody, all right, if I'm this person, may the Lord show who I am. And he upped their technology. So the Lord showed who he was. And these guys all got exposed. Jamie's paint got exposed as being nothing but house paint. There's videos of basically pulling videos down. Videos returning money back to the accounts. Orders that were sent out to him. His own paint was already sent to him, was sent back to us at a tracking number that showed him at the end of the day he couldn't back up his own product. There's all kinds of craziness that went on. The other one claimed to be a man of God. He contacted us multiple times saying he was a minister and saying at the end of the day we were devils at the end of the day and we served God and we're scam and rip-off artists. What happened to that, Mr. Williams? You got exposed. You were sending half-naked pictures of yourself to the United States Postal Service, including all the other stuff you were doing. That doesn't sound like any preacher I know at the end of the day. And then the fact that we've requested a clergy ID, document from which school you went to get your biblical Bible studies, and we requested basically your church address. And you can't give it to us because you don't have it because you're not a real minister. So you were just leading people down the wrong path that you were doing and taking their money. Then we found PayPal accounts and we found a Cash App account where you were taking money. So you were exposed. Called us a fake Christian. You said we were following the devil, and here you are. Look what you're doing. Whatever's in the dark comes out into the light. They got exposed multiple times. So you can't say you're blessed because you're not blessed because you don't follow God. When you follow God at the end of the day, God doesn't put you in a situation to be a laughing stock among others. He doesn't. No, I sat right there and made that statement. God could have sat there and had our products come up dark and not work and this, that, and the other on camera. Because again, I can't say anything in God's name if it's not real. Because he's going to show the people who I really am. Because he's not going to take that credit. God knows no evil. So why is he going to sit there and accept evil on a being who cannot accept evil and allow that to flourish and grow? He's not going to allow it to flourish and grow. He's going to cut that off from the door. There you go. So like I said, Jamie, following the devil, Jamie's a thief. We told you, he steals. He stole specifications off our sheet. He tries to steal our product multiple times and try to make it on camera. What's the name? He stole the name Frankenstein, used it to make money. We got receipts and all that for the taxes purposes of it all for the IRS. There's a whole lot of stuff he was doing. He lied about the age of his company and said it was 5 months when actually it's been for years he's had that company. So lied about that too. He wanted to use the lawful act of a 3D printer to rip and rob and steal from companies, copywriting and printing out their items. Even the late Stan Lee, who I think a couple of days ago, I think it was at his birthday. So anyway, yeah, all that. And try to sell these items off. He shows a history of stealing. So when you sit there, Fernando, and I hope you're listening, and say that you're blessed, the Lord is getting ready to out you for all. Because you can't say that. You can't use my name, the Lord. You can't use his name to say you're blessed when you're doing evil. God doesn't like that at all, period. That's why all these preachers and stuff that do stuff, that buy these million and billion-dollar jets and stuff like that, they all get exposed. One sitting in jail right now. This guy was sitting in jail. When the guy did a defamation on, he was spending $5,000 for belts and $60,000 for suits and $150,000 for a Mercedes to be cut in half, turned to a limousine, and $8 million for a house or something. Some crazy stuff, you know what I mean, they're doing. And now he's been exposed. He's sitting in court. They went through everything he went through. Defamation, went through all that stuff. No defamation, I forget the name of it. But anyway, they went through all that, and he sits in prison now. It's in prison. Because you took my name, and you tried to profit off my name, and you tried to make it sound like I'm this person. I am not this person. I'm God. I know no evil whatsoever. And you tried to make me be this person. And that's what you guys are doing. You're playing a very dangerous game. Extremely dangerous game. Don't ever, I mean ever, go out and commit a sin where you rob, break any one of those commandments and have a nerve to put there blessed. Very dangerous. That's why Jesus, when he went up there and he saw those people selling in his father's house, he saw those people in there making a profit off his father's name, he grabbed a stick, went up there and beat all those people out of that building. How dare you come into my father's house at the end of the day and make it a den of thieves, profit off my Lord's name, my father's name. Now, if Jesus was that passionate to pick up a stick and walk into a church and beat the crap, he wasn't playing around, he was beating these people good. Get out of here. Out of my Lord's house. How much more God does not like it when you commit sin and put blessed next to it. There you go. Walked in and said, you gotta be kidding me. And you know what they were doing back then. Same thing these people do today. Had these special sacrificial lambs and say, hey, look, you know, you're guaranteed to get saved. If you take this lamb right here, if you spend the money for it, this one over here costs less money, won't get you saved as much. But this one over here will get you guaranteed to get you saved. Now, God never said that. He never said that at all, period. But they figure a way how to make money off of it. Steal from God. Make lies, put words into his names. And then turn around and have these people going in, people, lost sheep that are trying to find guidance, use their weakness the way to make profit. Jesus went in there and beat them all out of there. Get out of here. Gotta go. Get out of here. Tossed them out. But you know what was feeding them all that nonsense to do that stuff? The devil was telling them to do that stuff. Now you got preachers today that'll come up there and say they can do this and do that and stuff like that. And one guy I watched him, he had all these checks. His desk was cluttered with checks. I'm just talking about, I got a booth that I can go and I can pray and heal a man from Michigan. You're driving around, flying around in billion-dollar jets, talking about, I need this jet because I can get there faster to save this man. That's funny. I don't have $1 billion jet. And if I need to pray for somebody, all I have to do is get on my knees and my Heavenly Father hears me. So why do I need $1 billion jet for? Jesus didn't come down with an army of chariots and all, clustered in gold. He didn't come down here with a perfect linen where he was in satin and the highest, most expensive. He didn't come down. He was born in a manger, for goodness sakes. He was born in a manger. So how in the world does God himself turn into a man and come down and he's the most humble, and you got to have $1 billion jet? Explain that one. There's another preacher had what's it, Bentley? Was it Bentley? What was it, Bentley? Clustered in diamonds. Told the church to buy it for him. It's meant for him to have that. And the guy was like, can we drive? He said, no, it's not for you, it's for me. Dangerous. Very dangerous game. Yep. Dangerous game. So that car at the end of the day, that jet at the end of the day, that money you take from your followers at the end of the day, that's worth eternal damnation. These trinkets on this earth, mind you, you're not going to be here forever. When your time comes, you'll leave. Those trinkets will stay here right on the earth until they deteriorate and turn into nothing. I would be scared to death to basically have a jet that I basically push people to buy for me because I want to show that I'm rich and this, that, and the other, and how the Lord has blessed me. And the sad thing about it is they get up there and tell those people that you want to be rich like me, you want to have money like me, you got to give. The more money you give to me, the better chance you have of getting blessed to be like me. I don't want to be like you at all, period. I don't want to be anything like you at all, period. They make it all about money. And you got people out here in the church now that are basically doing all this stuff because they want to get rich. It ain't about you being rich. It's about you basically being able to enter the kingdom of heaven and have a closer relationship with your Lord and Savior Jesus Christ. That's what it's about. It ain't about being rich. Rich comes. If God blesses you to be rich, it's a blessing. Other than that, it's not about you being rich. It's about having a closer relationship with God. It has nothing to do with it. I'd rather be a poor man on the street, living in a cardboard box any day of the week, than be a rich man and lost without God. It ain't about you trying to be rich. You missed the point. Getting caught up in with these fake preachers at the end of the day. And they're telling you at the end of the day, you give me more money, and you're going to be blessed to have money like me. Shame. Watching destruction follow destruction. And these preachers are bold. You ain't scared? Do you know who you're messing with at the end of the day? God is merciful, yes, but God also made a hell. And the Bible speaks about God, basically, people getting plagued, cities being destroyed, earths being flooded. That's what you want to mess around with? That's who you want to steal from? You know, it's interesting. I find it that you'll have mobsters down here on this planet that people will be scared of, that terrified to steal from, because you're just not the people you want to play around with at the end of the day. These are people who will come get you, and yet you'll steal from God. And there's nowhere to hide from him. There's no place you can go. You're cautioned to steal from a man of power, but you're most likely to steal from God. That is power. Very dangerous game to play. It's like Adam and Eve, you know. And the devil came to him and said, "Hey, you can eat from the tree. God won't kill you. He ain't gonna kill you at all whatsoever. We got spiritual death. That's what we got. We got cursed. That's spiritual death." He didn't kill us. Oh no, he didn't destroy us. He could have. He could have. He could have gotten rid of us. Could have been tired of us. And they look, I give them everything they want. Everything. I gave you everything you want. You had immortality, incredible, intelligent, capability. I mean, you just were almost like near gods at the end of the day. You had immortality. We had immortality. No death, no destruction, no disease, nothing. Never wanting anything at all, period, ever. And we actually got a chance to see God. God walked in and out of the garden all the time. He spoke to us. We saw him. Not happy. Gave us one commandment. Don't touch that tree over there. Just don't touch it. Don't touch the tree over there. That's all. Anything you want. Just don't touch that tree. And what did we do? We go touch a tree. Now, to be fair, woman's going to be upset about this, and they get angry about this every time, but it is what it is. You got to accept what it is. You touch the tree first. And they get mad about that. It's in the Bible. It says right there, Eve touched the tree first. And it's interesting when I tell people you have snakes, you have a cursed creature in your house. You have a vessel that the devil used to enter into the Garden of Eden. I'm pretty sure he probably asked all the other animals. And they said, nope, not a chance. No. But he went to the snake, and the snake said yes, because that's how he got in. There was no way for him to get in there. The only thing that could pass in and out of there was them two, God went through, and the animals. So he had to figure out a way to get in there somehow. What animal was going to allow him to host their body so he can get access in there, to talk to one of them. And he didn't choose Adam, he chose the woman to talk to. I don't know much, I'm not saying much on that, but that's what I read in the Bible, and that's what it is. But she went to Adam, and she coached Adam, and Adam ate from the tree too also. So he also became cursed. Again, there was no sin. I mean, you walk around, the naked body was not considered to be a sin at the end of the day. That's just how you were. You were naked. That's it. You didn't need clothing and none of that stuff because you didn't have sin. Your mind didn't think that way. So, when God comes back into the garden, they're not around. And he goes, "Where are you guys at?" "Well, we're hiding. We're naked. We don't want you to see us." "Who told you you were naked? How would you know this?" "They ate from the tree." So they got cast out of the Garden of Eden. They got put into a cursed world. The world became cursed. Death, destruction, all that became a part of the world. Yep. So, just amazing how merciful God is. Because people look at that and go, well, we're alive, aren't we? Because he didn't have to do that. He didn't have to be merciful like that. He didn't have to. You meet a woman, you meet a guy, you give them everything they want. They do something to you don't like, and you get rid of them, right? Because that's what we do. We get rid of them. We don't be bothered no more. I did it myself. We don't be bothered no more, right? It's hard to bring that person back. It's hard to trust that person 100%. And if you do one of those people that don't cast them out, you're able to bring them back, he or she, it's hard to trust them. Because deep down inside that if something happens, or maybe they're late on something for real, or a tire's flat, back into your mind, you're going to be thinking something bad. You are. It's going to be back there. We're only human. We know it's going to happen. So some people just rather don't really bother with all that crazy. Just get rid of it. Now imagine if God thought about that the other day, saying, I gave them everything they wanted, and they still defied me. I don't want to deal with this anymore. And you wouldn't be here, I wouldn't be here, none of us would be here. So the fact that we're here, that shows how amazing God is. And then when you get people saying, well, you have all this death and destruction and war and all this stuff that goes on, disease and everything, that's God's fault. No, it's not God's fault. It's our fault. We started it. But we didn't have it at first. So that's why we have it now. We cursed the world. But even now, out of all of it, God still blesses us. He does. And he let his son come here, who died on the cross, so you have the opportunity to go to heaven. Think how merciful God is. When he destroyed the earth the first time with floods, destroyed the earth the first time with a flood, he didn't sit there and say, I'm just going to cut off all of them. I'm just going to get rid of all of them. Because they're just going to probably defy me anyway, so, I'm done. But he didn't do that. He gave us an opportunity again. He gave us multiple opportunities again and again and again and again and again and again. And he don't have to. Nothing in the Bible says that God needs us. He don't need us. He don't. He can wipe all this out and get rid of us and make a people that worship him. But he loves us. I find that so amazing that for a people at the end of the day that does not accept him, and we defy him at every level you could possibly think of, and yet he still loves us. That is incredible. That is absolutely incredible. How could someone have that much love and he still loves us? At the end of the day, he does. I find that absolutely amazing. That's why people who serve God try their hardest to do what's right by him, to make him happy. We want him to be happy. He didn't have to do this for us. He didn't have to at all. How do I pay you back? I can't pay him back in this body. Oh, no, I can't. I can pay him back when I reach the next life. I'll be able to serve him 100% without sin. That is the ultimate gift I can give to him. So when my time comes, going home, see my Lord and my mother. And that's why I hope other people get a chance to experience the life that I'm living now. I am happy. I'm healthy. The Lord takes care of me and watches over me. I have no worries in any way whatsoever. And if I start to panic about something, it just stops. Because I know he takes care of me. I know he's watching over me. Put our spokes in there. Came out quite nicely. And the whole time while I'm building this, God is talking to me like, we're going to put this together here. We're going to put this over there. Like, awesome. Thank you so much. I want to do my own manger out of cardboard. Out of cardboard. Use no straw. No, so I'm going to for hay to make my manger. Now people watch the medieval builds and they'll hear, like, this guy talks about nothing but God on his channel. Yeah, I do. Because all this comes from God. That's why. And this gives me an opportunity to speak about Jesus? Yes. Every chance I get, I want to talk about God. That's why I never could understand my mom at the day. We talk about God all the time. God, God, God. Every single day. God, 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 God. I didn't have her happiness. She loved God. She did. She loved the Lord. And I understand why. I tell you, YouTube has got some amazing content creators. I think, yeah. I watch these little short films by these movie artists. Wow, really. Some of them are okay, but some are actually really, really good. Well, that guy, he has really good talent. He has very good talent. I mean, it was a very short film. It was very powerful. On top of that, I don't know if you saw it. I'm gonna put that link in there. You gotta watch it. It's actually amazing, man. So it just starts off where this guy is an inventor, and he made a plane that's powered by the sun. It's a solar-powered plane. But anyway, he talks about how they were having these kind of strange earthquakes all over the earth. These weird earthquakes. And no one could figure out where it was coming from, these strange earthquakes. But anyway, they had a tsunami, or a tsunami warning. And the weird thing about it is the warning triggered off where there were no oceans at. So why would you have a tsunami, or tsunami we call it, warning where there's no oceans? So right before the earthquakes, there was this huge beam. They don't explain where the beam came from. There was a huge beam that struck the ocean. And all of a sudden, this huge tidal wave popped up and it just flooded the earth. The entire earth drowned. So as this guy is flying around, as this guy is seeing the warning going off, he runs to his plane. His plane takes off just in time. He barely misses this giant, huge wave coming in. And it covers the entire earth. The earth is now all water. And as he's flying around, he's looking for a place, looking for land. He can't find anything. Can't find nothing. Can't find anything at all. He's just looking. He says, nothing but water, 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 water. And he says, it reminds me of the flood of Noah. That's what it reminds me of. But he can't find anything. And then he finds an airplane. A plane out there flying around, a commercial plane. And the guy's talking to him back and forth and said, hey, look, we got 2 hours of fuel left. We got 200 souls on this plane, and there's no place to land. And just before we came in to touch in, the flood came in, and we took off. We got away just in time. We need to find some place to land this plane. And the guy said, I'll scout ahead, because this plane runs off solar, and see what I can find. And the guy said he was out there for 2 hours. Now they said they had 2 hours left. So when he came back, the plane had already crash landed in the water, but they were able to land with the plane floating. So they had the life rafts, and the life rafts all in the water. So he went to scout ahead again because they already landed in the water. Everybody's safe. And he went back out, and he came back, and the life rafts were gone. Everything was ripped to shreds. Everything was ripped to shreds. So there's something in the water. Because everything, all the rafts, people are gone. They're nowhere to be found. So he said, what in the world could have done that type of damage? Like, how does 200 people just disappear? There's nothing there but a bunch of shredded rafts. What could have caused the rafts to shred? So, as he's flying around, it gets late at night, and I guess he flies a little higher up where, I guess how he has it, the system's designed where he can still generate. But as he starts to fly, he takes these micro naps where he can go to sleep from time to time. And as he falls asleep, he fell asleep a little too long. And he started having these dreams about mountain climbing with his wife, and when he was a kid. Now, he always lived in the countryside with his kid and his mom. His mom was walking him around. They were out there playing in the park and having fun. He's having flashbacks of his life. And all he hears is his mother saying, pull up, pull up, pull up. And he looks up and he's crashing into the ocean. And now he's laying on his wing. Part of his wing is floating in the ocean. And he says, I never realized how beautiful the ocean is. How beautiful it is. And then all of a sudden you hear this roar under the ocean. And this water starts to rise up. And you see these giant teeth just come over. His mother had passed away. She died. But he talks about he misses his mom. She died and passed away. But these huge teeth come up and they swallow. He gets swallowed. And he says, as everything goes dark, hey, Mom, I'm coming home. And it's at the end. That was the most powerful video. It wasn't too long. It was short, it was sweet, and it was powerful. Whoever did that, amazing job. Absolutely amazing job. That's what you want to do when you make a movie. You want something that basically just, it sticks in the head, man. It sticks in the head. That was an amazing movie. And I started watching these little short films from these artists at the end of the day. Beautiful, beautiful job. Beautiful, beautiful job. I like this. Beautiful job. I'm going to put his link on Facebook and some other spots. I want them to check this video out. This movie out. This short film. Beautiful job. I hope he goes big places, man. He should. Very good. I liked it. I liked it. Hope he gets big off of that, because man, he's got a mindset like that, and he's making that's amazing. It was amazing. Short, sweet, to the point. Cool. I mean, what do we got here for time? Where's the phone at? I have no idea where my phone is at. It's on the floor? We don't even know. All right, we're just going to build this part right here. So, we don't know. Nice movie. Man, that medieval music went from happy dancing in the freaking town square to I'm depressed with a fiddle. Sheesh. What the heck were they playing over there a couple minutes ago? Depressing. I was watching the 1950s suburban boom. How, this is when they started busting people to suburban life out of the city. And the campaigns were pretty big at the time about, get a piece of the American dream, American pie, get a nice suburban home. You know what I mean? Live out in the suburban life, have a backyard and front yard, and, you can mow your lawn and have a pool and stuff like that. That's something the suburban life. Getting people out of the city. A lot of people worked in the city and lived in apartments and stuff like that. And that's when they were the people were buying up lots of land and building these little suburban homes out there. That's when the suburban life became extremely popular. I still think the housing market is a scam. I do. I honestly believe that. How do you buy something that's not yours? I never could understand that. And then you have to ask permission to fix it. I don't get that part. I just don't get it. I don't. I'm sorry. When people say, well, the house is mine, technically it's not yours. You stop paying taxes on it, they'll take your house from you. You can put whatever you want into it, they'll take it from you. And then I gotta ask permission? Oh man, I mean, I've been through zoning, I've read through a lot of their stuff within the day. You gotta ask permission on everything. Change wiring, permission. I can understand, okay, to a certain degree why the permission is needed. Because you don't want anybody Jenkins next door wiring your stuff and burn your house to the ground because he hasn't did his correctly. I can understand that part, okay? But I mean, some of that stuff is just kind of like a little bit, I mean, really, but you shouldn't have to pay for it. You got to pay for that, right? I mean, pretty much people at home should know that already. You got to pay that. It depends on which state you're in. I forgot what ours is over here, like $180 or whatever, something like that. And then you got to bring in a certified contractor to come in because you want to make sure it's done right. I can understand that part at the end of the day. But it should be like, okay, something simple like having a pool in your backyard. If you got the room, sometimes they can tell you, no, you can't have it. Or you can't put it in the deck because you can't have it. How are you going to tell me something no, I can't have on something that I paid for, and at that I'm paying taxes on to begin with? But technically it's not yours. No, it's yours to sell. You do have that right. It is yours to sell. You know what I mean? Like people, if you're renting up some places that you do that. They let you just sublight up an apartment. You got a condo or whatever at the end of the day, or you just got a regular apartment, whatever. You could basically, if you rent control of the area at the end of the day, but still you can go in, you can basically rent out your apartment to somebody else. They just put the lease over in their name. Some places do that. But still, I mean, at the end of the day, I mean, you should be able to buy the land underneath your house. You should be able to. Because then it's yours. Then you can pass it down to generations to generations. That's why some people, your parents may get a house, and it could be a good sized one. Taxes in it could be a lot of money. You know what I mean? You live near schools, on your taxes would definitely automatically go up. You know, and they got the money to pay for it, but your bankroll ain't the same. You can't pay for it. So when they pass away, you can't do anything with that house because you don't get the money even for the taxes on it. And if they owe back taxes on it, you still can't even pay that. So most likely the house goes to foreclosure. They forget about it, just stay there, and the city takes over it. That's what happens to it. So that means all the work, all the time, all the money they spend, because they had to pay the taxes on it, they had to lose the house. All those taxes and they spend on the house, they turn around and lose it, and they take it and do something else with it. So it's not technically yours. It's like imagine everything else we have runs that way. Imagine everything you have in your house, you have to pay annual taxes on it every freaking year. Imagine it. Your game system, you have to pay like at the end of the year, $200 tax. You don't pay your $200 tax, somebody can come in and take your game system out of your house. That sounds absurd, doesn't it? Because you paid for it. It's yours. It's yours. You paid for it. But that doesn't come to your house. You don't own your house. When I realized that, I was like, no, I think I'm just going to rent. And there used to be a time where renting was a little bit more and mortgaging a house was much cheaper. It ain't that way now. Now you freaking mortgage a house. It's just as much as renting a house. There's no fair game there at all, period. And they even try to buy a house today? Are you insane? To buy a house today is absolutely nuts because the houses are expensive. I see people right now taking the Barbie houses, the big ones, the Barbie houses, and put it up on Facebook. It's going for an easy like 300 grand. That's it. The houses are crazy expensive. That's insane. Jeez. And then you go back and you look at houses in the 1950s. They were bigger. They're big houses, big backyards, all that stuff, right? But when people sit there and say, well, what they paid for a house was cheap, but you have to remember how much money they were making at that time. If they were making our money we're making today on what those houses cost back then, oh yeah, everybody be rich. But everybody was getting paid that kind of money. Like if eggs were probably like 50 cents or something like that, or $1.50 for a carton. That sound in our time right now, we'd be rich if we had made the money we make now, back at that particular era. Yeah, we all be rich. But people got paid according to what was at that particular time. Like I said, the money they made, which we now make way more than what they made back then, was suitable for that era, for that economy. Imagine if you lived in the era my mom lived at. She lived in 1939. I mean, things were pretty much nickels and dimes. You imagine basically paying a nickel for gas? That blows your mind, doesn't it? 25 cents? That'll blow your mind today. You'd be burning gas for the sake of just burning gas. You turn your car like, I don't even care. Let the gas run. Who cares at the end of the day? I freaking, the gas is like 25 cents. Yeah, but all that changes now. It's crazy. The question is, why does it change? It's not inflation. It's greed that changes it. Because what made things change so much drastically that things cost the way they do? I want to study that. I got a buddy who studies economics and all that stuff. I'm going to ask him some questions at the end of the day. If that was the price at that particular time, egg is an egg. An egg is always going to be an egg. An egg would have been an egg if it was basically in the 1900s or 1920s. It'd still be an egg. At 1800s, it'd still be an egg. It's still an egg. So what's the difference between an egg then and an egg now? Is it the fact because of inflation? Because we have now more higher technology, and that technology requires maintenance and repair and all that and everything that we have. Things are more expensive to repair and fix, and therefore the price has to bring the price up to cover those expenses. All right, I think that's understandable right there. Pay higher taxes. Higher taxes mean you have to pay for things that rise a little bit in expenses to pay and cover things now. It's crazy. But if you look at the 1970s, things were actually were cheap. Were still cheap. That's why they hit the 80s and 90s when things took off. Everything went through the roof. Because everything was well balanced up until that particular era hit, everything jumped. If you look at the price of what a house cost at that particular time, and now when the 80s hit, everything went through the roof. Yep. Like, if you ever played any zombie games, you ever look at the prices on the food? Sometimes the developers will put the price on the food, and the food would be like crazy prices. In World War Z, where you're fighting you're at the gas station and you're fighting. Did you ever look at the price of gas? Wow, it was up there. It was up there. Up there. You ever look at the price of gas? When you play that game, go over and take a look at the price of gas and how much they wanted. They were price gouging like crazy. You could tell, judging by all the cars that were out there, abandoned cars and the luggage and everything out there, people were just basically just piling up at the gas station to get gas to get out of town, not realizing it was all over the world. That's one of the things people don't realize in a zombie apocalypse. They think it's just their neck of the woods that's having the problem. It's everywhere that's having the same problem, where the plague is going at. But if you ever play these games, look at the little areas around. Like if you look at like in Left 4 Dead, the safe houses have messages in them. The messages will be people who used to be there and they wrote their last dying will, whatever. It's crazy. And then if you look at some of the games where you play a little out, you walk around, look at all the abandoned cars and stuff like that, and suitcases and stuff all over the place and stuff like that. But you'll notice if you look at some of the gas prices are up there. Yep. $10, $20 a gallon for gas. They're up there. Because they were gouging. The people in them stores were gouging. Because they figured they've stockpiled enough money and they can live pretty well. Because their stuff was in demand. Not realizing that the economy collapsed. The entire economy collapsed. And now that money's not worth anything. People burn that money for heat. Like, Fallout. The currency was bottle caps. If you watch the series. Probably the same thing in the game, too. I hope they bring in another one. They should just talk of another one. I haven't got a chance to play Fallout. I haven't got a chance. I played some of it, but I haven't really get a chance to play it. I want to play the newer versions of it. So, it's a very interesting game, too, though. Yep. I didn't get a chance to play it much at all, period. But I am going to check it out. I definitely am. And then watching the series of it. The series is amazing. It was absolutely freaking amazing. If you ever watched the series, man, you've got to watch it. It was good. There's supposed to be a part 2 coming up, another series, but I hope they do bring it up because I definitely want to see that other part of the series. All right, let's put our paddles in. Hoo-ah. 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 Look at you over there. Look at all special. Look at all special. Yeah. I'm going to watch it again because it was really good. It was a really good series. They did it really good. I mean, like I said, I don't know much about the game because I really never played it, but I can understand the concept at all, you know. But that series was great, man. Let's see how the paddles are going to hit. How big the paddles are going to go in to where you get one of these jam in here nicely. Alright, we put them in there, we can trim them to the size we want. We'll just put them all in there and just trim them from there. Yeah, that was a good series. I liked it. If it weren't for somebody playing a clip of it on their Facebook account, I'd never found out about it. Never found out about it. That's what I'm not against. Movies should really allow, and gaming companies should allow people to play those clips. I bought a lot of games because of clips. People on their YouTube channels talking about a game or something. I bought it just because I saw it on there. I saw the message like, hey, what game is this? And they'll tell me and I'll go buy it. I'm actually doing a documentary on refrigerators, the Iceman. How people got ice from the Iceman. Keep their food nice and fresh. And how the business started. I like to go back to where they talk about how the business got started, who came up with the idea, stuff like that. The type of refrigerator that was designed to use for the ice blocks, stuff like that. I had to watch that kind of stuff. I find that really fascinating. You know, it's mind-blowing. Two things are mind-blowing. I love barbecue. I freaking love barbecue. I'm a big fan of barbecue. You have no idea how much I love barbecue. I mean, it can't be like barbecue where they just take that brush and they put a little bit of barbecue. No, it can't be that. It gotta be barbecue. Like, you gotta marinate it in barbecue and then put it on that the barbecue pit. You can smoke it. I don't care what you do with it. As long as you have it on that pit. I want that charcoal. I don't want gas. I don't want gas on my barbecue. I like to taste that charcoal. And the wood flavor and all that, yes. That's what I'm talking about. And then, my favorite, everybody knows my favorite barbecue sauce, because Trolls teased me about it one time. Sweet Baby Ray's. I freaking love Sweet Baby Ray's. Yeah. You just don't know. So, when I get my barbecue, and everybody in my family knows how I like it, I like mine where they take all my barbecue, when they get done grilling it nicely, they stick it in a big old pot. And they fill that pot all the way to the top with barbecue sauce. It's swimming and soaking in that Sweet Baby Ray's. That's the only way I eat it. And I'll come in there, I'll go over to Walmart and pick myself up a tablecloth because the napkin ain't going to work. Yep, and I'll be sitting there just eating, drinking, that's it. My soda, I don't drink at all, period. So, yep, that's how I do it. Yes, sirree. I love barbecue. Now, I'm not a big fan on the thighs or none of that stuff. Legs. Chicken legs. That's all I eat. That's it. Chicken legs. That's pretty much it right there. Yep. I'm about to get me some barbecue tomorrow. I'm going to go over to the Jamaicans, get some jerk chicken, and soak it in Sweet Baby Ray's. Yeah. Watch some Hogan Heroes. That's my favorite show to watch. I like Hogan Heroes. I watch Hogan Heroes with some Sweet Baby Ray's. That's at the end of the day, I don't see myself going to these fancy high-end restaurants and all that stuff. No, man. Go down to my local store. Go pick up maybe like about a good $20, $30 worth of that jerk chicken. And then I put that in a big old pot and freaking drop all the freaking barbecue sauce in it and throw that on the freaking stove and heat that up. It's nice and cooking and marinating. And then basically pour that into a bowl and get myself a big old container of juice. Some apple juice I like because I got right now. Apple juice. Big old container of apple juice. And then put on some Hogan Heroes and I'm good. I'm a happy man. I don't give me no fancy restaurant talking about, oh my goodness, we just got into Chaude's. Chaude's, it just opened up a couple days ago. It's exclusive to get in there. I couldn't care less about Chaude's. I'm going home and have some barbecue chicken. Bye. See y'all later. Good luck with your food. Not for me. I like the mom and pops restaurants. Are the ones I like to go to. That's where you'll catch me at. Where you at, mom and pops? Going over there. We're going to go to this fancy restaurant. Knock yourself out. Good luck on all that. I'm going to be over here. Got no interest in that. I like the mom and pops. Don't get me wrong. I'm pretty sure the fancy restaurants got it going on. But again, I like the mom and pops. Like the mom and pops. That's where I go. Where the mom and pops. That's where I like to be at. I like the atmosphere. I like the people. That's what I like. Some of the places be a little too snobby for me. Eat with the wrong fork and spoon. They look at you like, oh my goodness, look at him. He's eating with a sugar spoon. How barbaric. How, not saying all of you like that, but I'm just saying some places are like that. You're like, how barbaric. How barbaric. Eating with a sugar spoon. Absolute Neanderthal. You're a caveman. Yep. I don't care. If it works, gets the food to my face, I don't care. I would love to go to one of those elegant parties. I would have so much fun in there. Everybody, people be nervous about, what if I eat with the wrong fork? Look, man, as long as it brings food to my face, I really don't care. My hands work faster. No, I'm going that route. But anyway, I'm just saying, I don't care. Who cares? It's a big deal. My word, how dare you? Your table manners are absolutely disgusting. Did you just use a sugar spoon? It's for the sugar and for the sugar only. Yeah, whatever. Whatever works to bring it to my face faster, that's what I'm touching. Whatever, I don't care. The napkins we have on the table for decoration. These are the decoration napkins. These are the napkins just for looking at. These are the napkins for appearance. This is the napkins you use. I'm using whatever I need to use. I don't care. I use a tablecloth. I got to. Only joking. We don't want to do that. But still, I'm just saying. I don't get in all that. And then people get all worried about that. Like, what if they don't like me? Who cares if they don't like you? Big deal. You know what I mean? You want to eat whatever? Who cares? I'm not saying being rude or disrespectful, but I'm definitely not basically bending my day out of shape to basically, no, we're not doing that. Nope. If you don't like my attitude and like who I am, and you think I'm absurd because I eat with the sugar spoon or salad fork or whatever it is, I don't care. As long as I'm respectful, treat by respect. How you doing? How you doing, ma'am? How you doing, sir? Very polite to everybody. Nice and whatever. How you whatever the fuck I want to eat was at that table. So you know what spoon is that for? I don't care. Does that serve the same purpose of everything else on the table? So basically, if I take this and put this in it, it works that way, right? Okay, whatever. I'm using that. It works the same way. You're going to tell me the sugar spoon ain't going to work right the same way as a teaspoon or a tablespoon? They all do the same thing. Who cares? My word. Yeah, it's definitely your word. I remember I watched this thing called... shows you how to properly butter a piece of bread. I could not stop laughing on that one. You mean to tell me that all this time in life I was not buttering the bread correctly? You ever seen those on Facebook? They're hilarious. You're in the room crying. The people, the comment section is gold. You're in there crying. Like this guy comes on and says, let me show you the proper way how to butter bread. Yeah, right. I'm not doing that at the end of the day. You get to break the piece of bread off and they butter that piece and they eat it. Okay. Yeah, no. This is the proper way of buttering bread. Are you kidding? The proper way of boiling water too? It's funny. So if the rest of the world doesn't eat the same way you eat, we're all savages, right? I take you to a Phillies game. You see how savage it gets up in there. You might bring you people a trough. Hey, if the food gets there faster, bring me a trough. I really don't care. All you can eat buffet? They'd probably get irked on a all you can eat buffet. I know someone like that too. Who will not go to an all you can eat buffet. I don't go as long as I gotta look at how it's built. It has to see how the serving unit is built. If it's built a certain way, I ain't going in there. I ain't jack out of there. Ever. Nope. Depends on how it's built. Built a certain way, yeah, I am not eating out of there. I seen way too much in the food business. I seen way too much. I seen way too much. I'm surprised I eat food now. I seen way too much. And I worked at a place. I'm not gonna say much about it because I'm gonna jack up your stomachs and all. But I worked at a place where I had control over the prepping the salads and the food for the buffet. And I'm just gonna say, just certain places I will never go to. And if you were to pay me 50 grand, that's a fear factor right there. That's an automatic fear factor right there. Yeah, it's a fear factor. Nope. Nope. Just waiting for that guy to come out in the tricycle. Like, would you like to play a game? No, sorry, buddy. You're kind of late. I'm already doing it right now. But that's disgusting. You're going to tricycle and just take off. That's disgusting. Imagine the guy from Salt popping up out of nowhere. Come on, would you like to play a game? Oh, no, we're doing it right now. Like, oh, my goodness, that's disgusting. And take off. Like, nah, I want no part of this. Y'all do too much in there. Yeah. And these weren't the kids. These were the adults. That's what made it more jacked up. It wasn't the kids, it was the adults that was doing stuff. That's what made it frightening. And two types of sneeze guards. One for the adult, if you're tall enough, because some are not even that tall, we can basically, some people still don't respect the sneeze guard. I see people take their head and go under the sneeze guard to grab something. Now you can't see it from there. But they're going under the sneeze guard. We got to keep reminding, excuse me, do not put your head under the sneeze guard. And they'll do it again and again and again. So we got to watch those jokers sometimes. But then they got the smaller sneeze guard. It's at the bottom, a little fence. That's for kids. Because I saw that one happen. I was like, nope, don't. So now I know to look for those guards. Yep. So, yeah, you gotta be. Some of the buffets I've been to, Old Country Buffet, pretty good. It's pretty good. There's no kids at the buffet. They only allow them at the buffet, not a lot up there. Sneeze guards at a medium level. If you're tall or short, you're still gonna hit it. And then they have another piece that comes down underneath that, so it makes it impossible to stick your head up underneath that thing. And then there's people walking in and out all the time. So they got it right near the kitchen area. So there's people walking in and out. So you're not in a buffet hidden in a little corner somewhere. Don't even bother with them. It's right near the kitchen area. It should be anyway, because they got to put the food back out there. There's constantly somebody always walking past those tables. So it's virtually impossible to do something weird. So yeah, I like that place. I'll eat from there any day of the week. Look at our paddle. Isn't it look majestic? Then we can paddle some water with this. Paddle some water. Technically, the water falls off the water fountain and causes that to spin. Which actually reminds me of an invention I want to design called the Spyro. Spyro water fountain? Oh no, waterfall. So there's a guy who basically bought a piece of property, but the water that's traveling down his creek isn't moving fast enough to power a what do you call it? A hydro generator. I forget the name they call it. A turbine. So it's not powerful enough to power the turbine. But he could get power if he had a 20-foot drop. He doesn't have a 20-foot drop. He just has a creek. But it's not hard to make a 20-foot drop. I sent him some blueprints, by the way. Because I could have made a lot of money off it. But I got other things to do. I got other business adventures that God has for me. And if the Lord blesses me with an idea that can help somebody out, why not? There we go. Now let's see if we're two. If we're two, let's see. Yeah, I would say it's fitting there, but I don't know. Like it should be a little trimmed off. I want a little bit. Let me see. I don't want it to sit in the water. You do have to trim it just a little bit. Just a little bit. Wait, isn't this thing supposed to come off of here? Because we want it attached here. No, that actually would look pretty nice. Right there. We definitely have to take this trim off a little bit. Oh, you're absolutely mad? Not really. Wait, how do we know we didn't cut that one already? I'm not sure. Oh, I can see it now. I think so. Hold on. Right, perfect. When we build the platform, this is going to be in the water. So we're going to put some of that silicone in there, in the water. But we have to cut it off. Bring it here. That's what we're going to do. We're going to bring our lake this way. There we go. That'll be nice. Tish, tosh, tosh, tish. All right. You are about to get your watermill pretty soon. Tucker, we can make wheat now. Flour to make biscuits. You can make your biscuits, Tucker. Tucker makes biscuits for everyone. So you don't know that? He does. He's a biscuit maker. He makes biscuits. Tucker's making biscuits, biscuits, biscuits. Tucker's making biscuits for everyone. It is awesome fun build here. And hopefully this gives other people ideas like, I wish to build that too. It's very easy to do, as you can see. You know, I can somebody put the whole thing together. Like, it's really easy to do. To build your own water wheel all from scratch. We had an Amazon box sitting up here, like, want to turn this Amazon box into this. Now we're turning the Amazon box into this. Isn't it crazy? It's crazy, people. Absolutely crazy. Then we're adding some detail to our windmill system over here. Sorry, water wheel. Watermill. Jish. We're getting it together. So we can grind and make tons of bread for the elves. Because they need bread. Bread is fantastic. I love bread. On top of that, I'm actually also looking at the history of making bread and these things right here. The watermill and the windmill. What purpose did they serve? How they were built? Who invented them? What were the early makes of them? All that. I find that quite fascinating. So every time we build one of these, we study the history. I can study the history on how to build clock towers and how they built little villages and townhomes and stuff. That stuff is actually amazing. And also, too, I might be able to get no, I don't want a job. I'm going to do it volunteer. I don't want to get paid for it. Teaching kids art, which I want to do. I want to teach them art. Little monsters. I'm going to teach them all kinds of cool stuff. Especially how to build PCs. We're definitely building some PCs. And they can take it home and it'll be their gaming PC. Today we are teaching the kids how to build a catapult. And I did that in COVID too. I got bored. I actually built the COVID. Went got some lumber, shipped to the place, and built the catapult the size of a Volkswagen. Oh, it was pretty cool too. Accurate too on top of that. The calibration takes a little bit. Yeah, two kinds. You have the one that has a slingshot that has a bag on it that slings in the air. That's a different one. Or the one that has a little tiny cup on it. That's another one. Slingshot takes a lot more calibrating to learn how to do it. And not only are we going to be able to do these builds, but we are going to be educating ourselves and learning the history of these builds. So it's very important that they learn that. It's kind of like a hands-on history class. We're going to build all these structures. Now, we have to get into character, which means we're going to have the hats. Each person's going to have the hat to what area, what they're building, what they're putting together. And they must know about the person who actually builds that structure and what he's all about. So my art classes would be fun. Got all kinds of cool stuff. Your kids become home with Viking hats. Like, what did you do today? We built a Viking ship. It was epic. Yes. We get done our adventures of Vikings. We are going to go visit Paris. I'm going to learn about artwork. I'm going to do art paintings. Teach them with pastels and crowns and paintings, finger paintings. Teach them all kinds of cool stuff. That's cool. I should have had kids, right? Yeah, but it's not for me. Ah, look at that. So we're building a Lego set. We're doing something a little different. We're going to wire electricity into that sucker at the end of the day. The city that lights up. Well, that'd be pretty cool at the end of the day. It's not really hard to do to the where lights all to it. Yeah. A lot of wiring, a lot of soldering, but man, they'll get a kick out of it. Ah! Yes. Next, we'll learn wood shop. We will build ourselves a luxury birdhouse. Of course, with cameras installed. So we're going to watch the little guys come in. And of course, we're going to put in insulation because they got to be insulation, got to be waterproof. We're going to build this in like a little tiny house. And then we're basically going to insulate and put cameras inside so that way they can see the habitat come to life. Put closed circuit TVs in the classroom so you can see the little animals in there. Go out there and feed the little animals and take care of them and all that stuff like that. And gardening, which is also good field to learn. Gardening. Ha! And we learn about rockets, outer space. Of course, we have to build our own rocket. A team effort. We're going to build our own rocket. We're going to blast it off. This is where we get to wear space helmets. Well, yeah, I'm going to get a volunteer to be able to help and be able to teach kids art. And I can incorporate what I do for them. Now, of course, we'll never show up this facility because I got weirdos on my channel, don't act like adults. Ooh, nicely. Yes, our paddles. Here we go. What did you learn today? It'd be always something new every day. Unless we're studying something on that particular topic that we have to know. But it's going to be something different. Oh, can you see what I'm doing? Can you see it? Woo. Nazim, lights! You guys saw the fifth element, you know what I'm talking about. Nazim, lights. I am among you. That's what the that planet said. I love Fifth Element. That's my shot. I had that on my hard disk. Man, I played that movie over and over again and again and again. I love the Fifth Element. The outfits were crazy looking. Oh, that this was how Fable came on. Fable came with the bird flying around. Yeah, because I forgot about that intro. I think that is Fable, with the birds flying around. Oh, please, make another Fable, for goodness sakes. I love Fable. I'm going back and I'm playing the version on Xbox 360. I'm playing it again. I miss Fable so much. Man, Xbox had good games. It has good games. Halo, big fan of Halo. Gears of War, big fan of Gears of War. Good games, man. And then they had the Dead or Alive series, man. Go get rid of the exclusives. What is there left? I'm going to buy myself a GameCube. I'm buying one. Not GameCube, sorry, a Nintendo Switch. Too, I'm going to buy one. Because that's what I mean. I like the retro games, and on top of that, it keeps me intact with, what gaming was all about. So, but you get a PC. My PC has a lot of retro games on it. A ton of retro games on it. I got Defender last night. Defender! You know how amazing Defender was? You only get 3 of those bombs to blow up that... I like some old games. I miss... How far we got to go around to hit this doohickey? Alright, that's some air. Man. Just a tedious part of the work. Stomach feels better. I told me to drink the water. He said, drink the water. I started drinking the water. And now I feel better. So you gotta listen to God when He tells you. God will tell you everything. Everything! Everything works for Jesus. Everything. Thank you, Lord. With that water, I feel much better now. My stomach was hurting a little bit. I feel better now. Hey, Taco Bear. You got hair everywhere, Taco Bear? Of course I got hair everywhere. I'm a freaking cat, for goodness sakes. What kind of question is that? Can you imagine if he could speak? Like, what? Excuse me? What do you call me again? A bear. How the freak am I a Taco Bear? What does that even mean at the end of the day? Sometimes I wonder about you, human. You want to give their cat 100 kisses? I do. I give my cat 100 kisses. Like, no! Enough! Enough with this nonsense. This goes on all freaking day long. You can talk. I can talk from day one. I just don't do it around you guys because y'all do too much. What's wrong with y'all at the end of the day? One more time. Get a crease. This is order from your cat telling you it ends here. No more of these kisses and hugs and whatever unless I allow it. You guys are overstepping your boundaries. You go right, Taco Bear? Yep. That's right, Daddy-O. Daddy-O? Daddy-O. My sister, someone's out there walking his King German Shepherd. Yeah, how big those things are. That's a big, big animal, man. They got German Shepherd. What was it? Belgian. We saw Belgian German Shepherd. They had German Shepherd. Then they got something called the King. That thing is big. This dog is roughly not even a year, and it's coming in, I'd say, roughly around 90 pounds. It's big, so it's going to be big, and it takes that dog's going to take 2 years to really fully grow. Yeah, that's a big dog. I saw one. That's the one I saw in the park. The guy's dog who jumped at me the day. I liked that. I was like, that's cool. At the end of the day, I'm not bothered if your dog jump at me, because that's what you want it to do. It has to protect you. It's trying to protect you. And that's what it's trying to do. I don't get bothered by that. People are like, oh, don't do that. Don't touch your dog. Your dog is trying to protect you. I found that exciting. I like it when a person has a dog that's an aggressor like that. That shows you got a dog at the end of the day. And Chihuahuas, little mini dogs, man. Them things are dangerous as I don't know what. It's not the big dog I fear. Them little dogs at the end of the day. This was a no joke. But yeah, that dog jumped at me at the end of the day. I'm gonna come at him like, man, you crazy in the day, man. You and your dog can get hurt. I ain't like that. I was like, oh man, that's a nice one, man. I like it. I was like, would you train him that way? He said, no, you've been like that. Oh, you got alpha male. That's what you got. Alphas are like that. Now, I had one alpha male my entire life. Would I ever get another one again? No. There's different types of alpha males. You get an alpha male that basically, like his dog at the end of the day, would attack you if you ran up on him. And he's going to get jacked up. But if he slowly, gradually gets to know you, then you're good. You know what I mean? He knows who you are. He identifies who you are. But still, if you come near him, he's going to jack you up. Like you try to hurt him, either way, he's going to mess you up. That's how some dogs are. They're good. People can come in and pet them, but you show any aggression to the owner, you're going to get jacked up. That's all too. He's going to protect the owner. But anyway, the one I had at the end of the day was a different type of an alpha male. These dogs are designed to kill anything, which means anybody who walked in my path, you are gone. That's it. If you come up to me and you're gone. I can't be around kids. I can't be around my mother. I couldn't be around anybody. He would kill anything around me except for animals. Cats, no problem. He only had 3 cats in the house. He was in love with them. He played with them all the time. Cats ate out of his dog dish. He laid with them. He slept with them. He was cool with cats. Other dogs, he was funny around other dogs too. I had other dogs in the house, other breeds. Wasn't bothered by any of them. People didn't like them. Didn't like them at all. Period. He just didn't like them at all. And you would see when I'd be walking him, his kid was constantly tilting, ticking back and forth. He was like he was locking on to everybody. He was like this alpha male. Only around me. He's the type of dog, if I had a heart attack, you had to kill him to get them in. You would have to. You can't take him. He would take you out. And he was big too. He was 180 pounds. So he was a different type of dog. He was Rottweiler, Bullmaster, and German Shepherd mix, which means this dog was at roughly, he grew to be 180 pounds. At that, he had a gator. Gators, where the dog has a long snout with a huge, massive fang line. He had a 150-pound lockjaw. Okay, my buddy had a system that the dogs could bite into, and it would get their pressure on how much pressure? 150-pound pressure lock with a gator. It was like the equivalent of being bit by an alligator. So yeah, he was something else. He was something else. And I can tell his aggression line, because when an animal has an aggression line, other animals run. So when I walk into the alleyway, you would see all the cats clearing out of the alleyway to get away from him. Even though he wasn't an aggressor toward the other animals, they felt him. Yeah. And to this day, people talk about it. I go back to the neighbors and say, yeah, remember that big old dog you had from that? Yeah, he died. I had him for 15 years. Really, they don't live that long. But I had him for 15 years. But yeah. I said, remember that big dog you had? I said, yeah, I remember. I said, that dog was crazy. That dog was crazy. Like, that dog would kill anybody. Like, he'd come up with the dog, and he never relaxed. Like, I had him between my legs, and I was holding him, and he constantly be staring at him. He'd been looking at him, like looking at everybody, just staring at him. The dog was crazy. He wasn't crazy. He was alpha male. He was dangerous. That's what he was. But I couldn't have a life. If he was alive today, I couldn't have a life at all, period. Terrified that somebody could walk into the house. Like my wife is dead. We kill her. My mother killed her. I don't know what breed he was or wherever. I told my sister to get me a dog because they had dogs next door. And I said, who got dogs? He said, people next door got them because she lived a little farther down the block. I said, give me one, give me one. And out of all the dogs she picked, she got me an alpha male. And that was the one, a dog I would never, ever get ever again. Because an alpha male is good if you live by yourself and you're on a farm somewhere. That's a fantastic dog to have. Just can't have a family, can't have a life. That's all. Just you and him. That's all it's going to be. And a bunch of other animals. Because he won't attack anything else. He won't attack anything else. Now, if he had to fight another dog, he'd fight another dog. He had no problem with that. He'll fight a dog. But it wasn't necessary, he wouldn't do it. The people? He hated people. Couldn't stand them. Didn't make a difference what you were. We could stand you. I don't know where that came from. But anyway, yeah, he was something else. But I loved him. That's my favorite Most aggressive one I've ever had. He's my favorite. But would I ever go down that road again? No. And I got dogs I can train basically at the end of the day to do what they need to do. I can train them to do that at the end of the day. But there's a level where they know how to basically come out of it and go back to normal. You know, he just never came out of it. He was just always in that freaking mode all the time. And I'll never forget that. One buddy, when he was walking, that's how I met one of my buddies. He had a pit bull that had a spot on his eye. They call him Petey because he's like the dog from Little Rascal. And he's like, man, I'm trying to get my pit bull to come out. Like, how is yours like that? Mine's like that. So mine's alpha male. Mine was like that. I never had to train him, ever. I never had to wear a canine suit, train him, nothing. He was like that automatically. It was just like that, like that. It was big. But, nah. This time around, I do want another pit bull. But I might just get one of those short, the 50-pound ones, you know. I like the stocky ones. I like them. They're cute. They look adorable, especially when they wear clothes. Someone get me one of them. But I'm going to train him to do his job, as he's trained to do. But he's not going to be trained on that level where he's just going to be ballistic on everybody. Because, yeah. I mean, to be a little bit of a sweetheart. Especially for him, because he wants a dog. He definitely wants a dog. Every time we take him to the dog park now, we take him to the dog park, and he sits up there, and the dogs walk over to him, and he sniffs their noses and everything. He gets so excited around other dogs. Like, I've never seen that. I've never seen a cat that get that excited. He don't like cats, he likes dogs. So, yeah, take him over to the dog park, and he just runs back and forth and looks at him and stares at him. They sniff him. He sniffs. Sometimes I let a little bit out. He licks some. He licked him. I was like, oh shoot. Yeah, I'm gonna get me a get me a dog for him. He wants a dog. That's why I put on dog TV. He loves dog TV. Would you raise your own dogs? Oh. He's watching cartoons right now. Watching cartoons. He loves Mr. Bean. He loves Mr. Bean. That's this cartoon at the end of the day. Ain't that right with your cartoon, Mr. Bean? I can't find my other phone. I have no idea what time it is right now. Oh, it's over here. Where's that for time? Oh, come on. Where's 10:40? Okay, we're good. 10:31. 10:30, 34, 34. We're good. I'll leave that at 11 o'clock. I just want to get this done because tomorrow I got some other stuff I got to do. I got more stuff I got to do. And I got to get to the art museum, man. I haven't been to the art museum yet, man. I'm losing it. I got to see more art. I don't know what exhibits are going to happen there. I got to see more art. Trying to find me a medieval. I want a medieval art museum. Oh my goodness, I'm going to spend all day in there. I love the medieval art museums. Is there a medieval art museum just for this medieval art? Is there one? I wish there was one. I'll be in there all day. Blue stick. I'll take you to raise your 5. Oh, shoot. I'm going to trim these off. I figured I found a better way of putting them on. I'm going to trim them off. It plays with me nicely because it's fighting me right now. Get up in there. Somebody got this house where you go into his house and he has his he's got his bedroom and his living room. I thought that was freaking cool. So I got the bedroom and the living room. He got a big customized bed. It's amazing. It's gorgeous. Customized bed, the canopy and the curtains and all that. Got his initials and everything on it. and he got it downstairs in his living room. Down there, we got a big roaring fireplace down there. It's gorgeous, man. I said, why do you put it down? He said, man, no point in me having it upstairs because I got to go all the way upstairs. I got to come all the way back down. I got to get up. And the kitchen's over there. And I got my theater room over there. I'm like, each his own. I would do it. You know, they live on the sticks. So, you know, it ain't like somebody popping over. You freaking 120 acres, and ain't nobody really popping over on 120 acres. You got to drive to get to that place first. He's off road, too, on top of that. You know, they got the houses big enough. They got a nice-sized house, man. So they got a guest room. They can entertain people. Got Olympic-side pool out there. They chilling. They good. But he wanted the bed down there. I don't see nothing wrong with that. I got to think about rules about walls and stuff like that, rules and regulations. You got to have things in certain places because they have to be there because that's the way it's supposed to be. I hate that, man. That's why when I do my whole setup, I'm going to have everything out in the open. I got the little kitchen over there and wood over here, and that's it. And it just works out that way because it just does. Like when people go camping, and the bushcrafters go and they build their setups in there, and they do their cooking, all their cooking outside on this flame, on this fire. That is freaking awesome. I like watching the bushcrafters. I love them. They get doing crazy, amazing stuff, man. I like watching them work, especially when they start off with nothing. And it's out there and it's freezing cold, and all of a sudden they just built this one little cottage. That is so amazing. Dig a hole in the earth. Make a nice little cottage. And all of them can cook. They all can cook. You seen this up there with their hookup? Food, real food. You guys who do that bushcrafting, man, you need to get a restaurant open and call it Bushcrafting Cuisine. That'd be amazing, man, because I'm just curious about how some of that stuff they be hooking up, what that must taste like. Bushcrafting Cuisine. That's what I would do. Oh, I think we're coming up on our other one right here. Yep. We got, let me do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. No. 1. That's done. 1, 2, 3. We got 3 left. Oh. Marv got electrocuted. Marv got electrocuted by the freaking Home Alone. He got jacked. Oh. You know, when he came in the window, those are them old-fashioned Christmas tree ornaments. Those things were razor sharp, man. They cut you wide open with those things. And he stepped on them barefooted. Sheesh. I remember as a kid, man, them things breaking and hitting the ground. Them things were razor sharp glass, man. Colorful, painted, razor sharp glass. I never forget that, man. When them things broke, man, it cut your foot clean open. He put them suckers right by the window. Oh, man. Sheesh. He was trying to hurt somebody. You felt that pain. If you ever stepped on them things a day in your life, you felt that pain. You're going to electrocute the door. Oh, my goodness, man. Gravity. The big G. Static. Hey, no static. No static. Don't want no. Don't need no. I'm trying to figure out, like, what's going to be on a system that costs $1,200? I got to go look into this. After this video, I'm going to go look into this. I got to figure out about this. $1,200 on it. $1,200. It come with a 4090. $1,200. Yeah, I better get a 4090 on there for $1,200. 4090. I want 4090, and I want 3 terabytes of hard drive. Yes, yes, sirree. That's a bit much, man. That's a lot of money. Who the freak's gonna spend $1,200 for a system? That's what I'm trying to get at the end of the day. It's a console. The whole purpose of console, it's supposed to be not expensive. You know, it's supposed to be more affordable than a PC. You can get PCs for like $800 now, $500 now. $1,200? Y'all better not buy that. I swear, if I see anybody with a $1,200 console system, I'm laughing at you. I'm like, why would you even buy that? It ain't like, okay, now I can see like if they had exclusive titles only, for their system only, right? They got exclusive titles. Then, yeah, you're going to spend that money. You're going to spend that money. Because I spent over that when I was basically replacing my 360s. I was spending way more over that. The 360s would be like $400. And I buy like 2 of them, you know what I mean? That's $1,200 right there. I done already spent that money with already buying 3 of those Xbox 360s. But they had exclusive titles that I couldn't play on PC, so that's why I kept coming back. And I had a massive family on there I game with all the time. So yeah, that's why I kept coming back to them. But if they had, with their games, they release their games out just like the other one releases their games out. If they got an exclusive game, what exclusive game that'll make me spend $1,200 for a console system? I gotta think about that one. I don't know, because they've done Gears of War to death. Ain't really much you can do with Gears. It could be up in these systems because of GTA 6 too. On top of that, because GTA 6 does require some crazy stuff. Let me see what GTA 6 is supposed to require. Let me see. Specifications to run GTA 6 on high res. Oh, that wouldn't be it. So if you're going to run a PC, let's see, an i5 processor, 9600K, or an AMD with I think 536 processor, 16 gigabytes of RAM. NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3060. And Radeon RX 6600 XT. So a 3060 is cheap. You can say, no, right there. What kind of graphic card do you need to run GTA 6 in 4K? So you want to run GTA 6. Make sure we got this right, because please give me 5, 6. I need a 4090 to do it. So if you want to run GTA, you're going in 4K, you gotta have a 4090 to do it. So that kind of sums that up. So bottom line is, the PS5 Pro. Let me see what the PS5 Pro is graphic cards equivalent to. Right, really? What is the PS5 Pro's graphic card equivalent to? Alright, so PS5 graphic card roughly equivalent to a desktop like a 5060. Ooh, that is pretty crazy. Yeah, 5060. So you could run that. You can literally run GTA in roughly 4K on a PS5. So a PS5 basically is equivalent to a 5060. That's what I'm putting in my machine. Gee whiz Louise, if you're running a 5060 in there, do you have any idea what the 6 is going to be running at the end of the day? How much am I? Oh man, that's going to be crazy, man. Crazy! Okay, that's interesting. So yeah, then that means graphic-wise, if the Steam machine is running and a 4070, but then again they might upgrade it, who knows. Anyway, that's so crazy. Where the frick is it? Oh, I'm over here. It's up on the floor. I'm trying to finish this thing out. We're done with it. I'm almost done with it. Got the paddles and everything finished. Got no much more cones on it. The design for the paddles. I just had you. I saw you drop over there. Why would you go over there? Oh, yeah, right here. This one. Oh, this one there. Technically, I don't even know why you would have to bring out a new system, to tell you the truth. That's a pretty powerful graphic card to have. I had no idea that graphic was that high. You really don't need anything, to tell you the truth, honestly. And how are they going to bring out a new system? They just bought that one out. That one just came out. I mean, it's all going to be backwards compatibility because it's all basically, at the end of the day, it's all digital download. So it's going to be backwards compatibility. Anyway, I can't wait. I want to say this Apple system was supposed to come out with something. Apple was supposed to come with their own console system. That's the one at the end of the day, I don't know. But then again, they said the same thing about Sony. When Sony said they were putting their hat in the ring in the console war, and they were like, man, this is not going to go well. Sony just basically does like entertainment, stuff like that, you know, VCRs and stereo systems and, you know, laptops. We just don't see it happening. Just, I don't think they're going to last that long. Now, when Xbox made the announcement, like, yeah, Xbox is going to last longer because Xbox is PC. That's why. It runs Windows, all that stuff like that. Sony doesn't run Windows and all that stuff. But people thought that when the Xbox came out, the rumor was that it could run like an operating system, which was not true. It strictly made it to be a console system. That's what they stated when it came out. So, I just find all that quite interesting. We have to do the opposite side of this. We're going to have to do the opposite side. I'm doing this tomorrow. Oh, I do the opposite side of that. I'm doing it tomorrow. Man, I'm telling you, these bills are crazy. I'm thinking like, okay, so it's simple? It's never simple. I don't even know why I even tell myself it's going to be simple. It's never going to be simple. I do enjoy the bills, trust me, but when it gets to that last little bit, where it gets super tedious, man, it gets freaking a little irritating. It does. It does. But it all came together nicely. It's crazy. This all started from basically me building the cottage back there to build it. I'm still building that little world inside of it. But I gotta wait for the panels to do that. But that all started from that. And I said, you know what, let's just build medieval structures. And next thing you know, boom, medieval structures. And these things are bigger. They're way bigger than, these are bigger built than the cottage back there. These are way bigger buildings. Ooh. I'm going to make my retro gaming store tomorrow. I'm going to finish those panels on there, on the opposite side, get all those done. And then I am basically going to put the shingles in on the roof, get that done. And then I'm going to work on basically building my little 1980s arcade. I'm going to print out my, whatchamacallits ahead of time. My little artwork, posters in the back and all that cool stuff. Let me start getting this one straightened up in here. Hey, Taco Bear, Taco Bear. It's a bear, Taco Bear. Bear, Taco Bear. Taco Bear, Taco Bear. Let's see, you in there? Oh, it's in there. It's not going anywhere. It's in there. I'm not worrying about this. We can turn this all into scenery. You know, it's interesting how Poor people got scared to death because they thought they were going to lose their benefits. And I told you at the end of the day that the Lord has control over all things. Man don't control this earth. He don't control nothing on this earth and all people. He don't. He thinks he does. He just don't do nothing on it. And people now got their benefits back. You know what I mean? And now this guy's being prosecuted. The Epstein files are crazy now. They pulled them 3 emails. Oh, it's going to be way worse than that. Way worse than that. You just see the master plan of all the crazy stuff they were doing. That Mike Spencer, what he calls himself, went and swore in that other woman. He went and swore her in because he knew at the end of the day she could basically, she was that signature needed to open up those files. Yeah, they're doing all kinds of dirty stuff. But like I said, everything's going to come to a head. And now, if you look at the situation that Trump's in, Trump is in a lot of hot water, man. He's in a lot of hot water. He's in a lot of hot water. And like the people said in the day that, look, you're going to have to vote to open these files up. You know what? Because you do not want to be known as a person who's going to have to come up for election, any one of these Republicans, as a person who protected this man, knowing what went on. You'll damage your career easily, if it's not already damaged already. So keep in mind, the whole rebuilding of the White House, because that, I told you at the end of the day, that he's going to end up getting impeached. They're going to impeach him. It's definitely going to happen. They're going to impeach him. But now you got a bigger problem, not a bigger problem, but you got another problem too on top of that. The White House is ripped down. Because, you know, you can't restore that back to the original state it was. Can't restore that. It's damaged. That's history. Took a piece of history and buried it somewhere. That's what he did. Yeah. So now all that craziness he was causing, all that's coming back to haunt him now. It's all coming back to haunt him. That's what it's doing. Everything is... There's people, federal workers that I know, they're coming back to work. You know, things are starting to level back out again. So yeah, they're going to get rid of him. They're going to impeach him. There's already a petition. They're already being for him to get rid of him. And that tariff nonsense he was doing, now that's in court by saying he didn't have the right to do all that. So now that's got to be reversed, all that mess. And the thing with the whole, like I said, with these other agents, they're doing too much. They're doing way too much. You had a purpose job to do. One thing is to get dangerous people out of the country, and you done took it to a whole nother section of nonsense at the end of the day. They did crazy stuff too. They're being prosecuted. They got to release like 300, 600 detainees because they arrest them without due process. Everybody deserves due process. Everybody deserves due process. So no, they just grabbing people off the street, snatching people, nothing, just throwing them in jail. Crazy stuff. So yeah, they got to release like 600. Yeah, he got something more to worry about. He had to worry about what's in those files. He said his name wasn't in those files. His name is in those files. Yeah, people who voted for him at the end of the day tell him, now his name is in there. It's in there. They were good friends, okay? That tells you something right there. His name is in there. You see what happened to the other guy over in England? Man, they took it all from him at the end of the day. They're like, nope, we don't tolerate that over here. He's not a prince anymore. They stripped him of all that. Everything was stripped away from him. Should be. Oh, this music is freaking crazy. With that cinematic going on in the background. And they're fighting. They got a little war going on over there. You can see it over there on the screen. They're showing like a little battle scene going on there. An epic battle scene. This thing came out nice. I love it. Freaking love it. What are we doing? Does this hurt to look? Oh, you jumped out of your box? Taco, you jumped out of your box here. Jump out of your box? You jumped out of your box. You know I cut a door in there, right? I put a door in your box. So you can get in and out of there at will. And he still jumps over that sucker. Everything in there is cleaned up. That's all done. It's junk food. Mostly candy. It's candy, people. Candy. All right, I hope you enjoyed the demonstration. Finishing up when working on, or we're actually finishing up what we got to do now. We still have the other back paddles to do, and I got shingles to put in. But I got to get ready to get out of here. I got things to do, and I got to do some promo demonstrations tomorrow on these bigger screens because I haven't done that yet either. But I hope you enjoyed. Thank you for your time for stopping by on our medieval builds. I mean, of course, we talk about everything. I mean, these builds take a while. They take a couple hours to build these things. So there's really nothing ever else to talk about but politics and whatever that comes up. Other than that, hope you and definitely talk about the Lord. That's definitely more important than anything else because again, without Him, we couldn't even build this stuff. But thank you for popping in. Thank you for your time, and hope you enjoyed. And we got some more stuff we're going to be building along the way on our medieval builds. Thank you for your time. We thank our Lord and Savior Jesus Christ for blessing us with amazing technology. Because if it wasn't for Him, none of this would ever be possible. Because it's true. Everything we have on is all from God. So thank you all for that. And be safe out there, and God bless.